You can watch it after.
Or I could just load up the first game to go see it.
That is true as well. And hello there, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. It is the DRUG here, and we are back for part 4 of Sakura Succubus Part 4. Or no, 4th game in the series, I should say. As I like to call it, boobs. Anime boobs, that is. Of course, I am not alone. I am with the man that makes the sex demons quake with happiness. It's a giant vibrator.
Well then, just well then.
Who unfortunately saw Nightmare Fuel at Walmart today, so we're streaming this so he can forget about the Nightmare Fuel and look at big, voluptuous watermelons. As Vince McMahon would say, I'm a genetic jackhammer. I'm sure I'm going to... If I'm going to hell, I'm taking y'all with me. When we last left off, we were in the dark forest where the temple gods might inhabit the trees. That's why she is clinging to me, because she wants her boobies protected. Plus, they'll give me a pendant of life, hopefully. Of course, I should point out I did not watch SmackDown or anything like that. So let's continue. Today's Friday, by the way, so happy weekend, everybody. Hope everyone's gonna have a good start to the weekend. How are you holding up, Maria? Are you okay? Are you okay? Because you just got hit by a smooth criminal. I can't sing. I'm fine. That's what Maria says, but her actions behave her words. She's clinging into me like a limpet, her sizable bust pushed up against my arm. Which, let's be honest here, would anybody be mad about that if a woman like that was hugging you that tight and your arm was being slunk into the in between her boobs? I mean, I could think of worse things to do. I will say if Greg comes in, he's probably gonna be like, what the fuck am I playing? Or Dave. I think the only one who won't be shocked is Mr. Jones the Wicked. I can't say I dislike the close proximity. It's hard to keep a steady pace like this, but her body is very soft. Yes. Yes, it is. All in all, it's quite the cozy situation for me. Rhea, alas, looks scared out of her skin. Her eyes are too wide, like a startled rabbit's, and I can feel her shivering. Maybe it was a bad idea to engage in Hazel's silly test of courage. I have no qualms about it. I started being scared of the dark and the imaginary monsters that lurk within it when I was 5. But Maria's almost paralyzed by fear. Piece of advice then: don't go on MTV's Fear, because you'll be going to haunted prisons and insane asylums and other places. By the way, does anybody remember MTV's Fear? But that might have been before your time. When were you born again?
In 95.
Okay, so you might have gone in to see it maybe on MTV. It came out around in the early 2000s, from 2000 to 2002 or 3. Because I know it did when I was in Florida, and I didn't move out of Florida to 04. So 03 of 04, so
I didn't have anything like MTV or Cartoon Network or even the History Channel until around 2014.
Ah, okay.
channels for the longest time as just Fox, CBS, NBC, and ABC.
Oh, wow. Whew. Well, at least you had good cartoons on the weekends. Where's that water? Oh, there we go.
Which I never watch. I was always playing video games.
Nothing wrong with that. Her steps are small and shuffling, and that's not because of her clothes. Her office attire is almost restrictively tight, with its high-waist penciled skirt, but her sundress is much more bewildering. What the fuck is bewildering me? What the fuck? If anybody's watching this, can they look up what that word means? B-I-L-L-O-W-Y. I've never heard of that word before in my life. It should be easy for her to move, but it isn't. We're almost definitely going to come in last in this little contest. Not that I mind overall much. I don't care about winning. I do, however, care about Maria. Are you sure you're okay? Yes, I'm sure. There's no problem. I'm utterly, completely... eek! Scared out of my damn mind. Maria's voice cuts off, screwing into a scared squeal as she clings to me. If this keeps up, I'm going to lose my arm. Thank goodness I got a second arm in my pants. Hey. In a distorted shape, only partially illuminated by my flashlight, darts across our path. The undergrowth rustles, then consumes it, hiding it from view. It was a temple god. I hope we have a pennant of life. Oh my goodness. Maria stares at me, meeting my brown eyes with her own wide, surprised ones. What in the world was that, Heineko? Do you think it was a ghost? No, I think it was Carmen Sandiego. We found her because where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I have a feeling this episode has a lot of puns in it and jokes, and we're only about 8 minutes in. Yay, bad jokes time with Doug Barrett, with his sidekick, the Vibrating Wonder. By the way, no, I'm not drunk. I think the heat today has gone into me and making me gone crazy. Just to make her feel at ease, I'm going to say I doubt that. I don't know. It seemed a bit too corporeal for that. Not to mention small and furry. Then it was a monster. No, it was probably Rocky the Flying Squirrel looking for Bullwinkle. I suppose it could have been a baby monster. Oh, it's a baby monster. It probably goes, not the mama, not the mama, not the mama. And if you don't know what the mama's from, I feel sad for you and your parents, because I just feel sad. Unless you weren't around during that time. So Vibrator gets a pass, since dinosaurs came out before he was born. And I just referenced the show, damn it. But I think, though, I can't tell. It was a little hard to see. It was a rabbit. So that means Bugs Bunny forgot to take the left turn at Albuquerque. A rabbit? Oh, I do hope so. Maria exhales some of the tension slips from her shoulders, but she doesn't draw away from me. She's clinging to me as though for dear life. I retract everything I said earlier. I was trying to appear strong, but I cannot keep up the appearance with you. This is simply awful. I can't stand it. I like going for walks in the forest during the day, but it's no fun at all at night. It's so dark I can scarcely see even with the flashlight, and the trees look like gasping claws. There's no telling what is hiding away in the undergrowth, and it's so cold. Oh, I think we know who's hiding in the undergrowth. It's Mr. Jones.
How's it going, everybody?
Doing good, just streaming more of Sex Demons. I don't understand how anyone could enjoy this. Hazel must be insane, and Hoofa too. Oh no, then they're all just as bad as each other. Maria's been soldering on for a good 20 minutes, almost surgically attached to my arm, but I think she might be nearing her limit. Again, if my arm is going to sink into a woman's gigantic boobs, I'm not going to argue it. That means my arm will be nice and warm. Granted, in this hot weather, I don't want that, because it's actually like still 80-some degrees right now, and it's past 10 o'clock. So damn, fuck this goddamn heat. By the way, I hope you're having a good night, Mr. Jones. Happy Friday to you.
Good as Friday is gonna get.
Now, I do want to, and I'm glad you're here because I would have talked, I think I sent you this yesterday. As many of you know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have a new game coming out next year. And it's going to be on consoles. It looks like it will be on the 4 and the 5. And that is called Shredder's Revenge. April O'Neil is in the game. But that's not the only game she's going to be in, because she's also in another game that comes out later this year. So, Vibrate and Mr. Jones, do you remember that game I showed you guys the trailer and talked about, that Smash Brothers clone?
The Nickelodeon?
Yep. It looks like not only will she be in the game, but it looks like Cat Dog will be in the game as well.
Hey, I hate to say this, but I don't know if it's my end or your end. It's kind of going in and out.
Could be my end. I hope not, but it could be. But yeah, April O'Neil is in the game, and so is Cat Dog, because that's who she's fighting in her trailer. It looks like one of the stages is going to be the Terror Dome. I'm afraid if I keep pushing, she'll have a breakdown. Breakdown like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Breakdown, breakdown. Maybe I should suggest a retreat. That would, in all likelihood, be our best move. I don't want Maria to suffer pointlessly, not over something that's supposed to be fun. Are you sure you want to keep going? I have no choice but to. I'm already agreed to this silliness. I ought to see it through to the end. You might have, but there's no shame in changing your mind. You're trembling like a leaf, and I can hear your heart thudding. And we don't have a pendant of life to protect us from the spirit of a temple guard. You're clearly not cut out for this. Why don't we go back to the beach house? I can text Hazel and tell her we're bearing on the competition. I'm sure she won't mind. I think it's a perfectly reasonable idea, but Maria doesn't seem to agree. And we lost Mr. Jones, oh no! Even Maria was like, no, that would never do. If I turn back now, it will ruin the fun for the others. They sounded so enthused about this competition. As the older sister, I wouldn't want them to let them down. Moreover, Maria clings to me even more tightly, if such a thing is possible. Her brow frowned with concern. I wouldn't want them to realize that I'm afraid of monsters. It would ruin my credibility. You wouldn't have to know. I could think of some excuse. Maybe I could say you sprained your ankle. Nobody would judge you then. A white lie may allow me to save face, but I would still know it to be a lie, and I am an honorable woman, and I prefer to be honest and upfront. I do not wish to make my sisters worry about me either. As they're elder and they're better, it is my job to fuss about them, not the other way around. So you determined to see this through. To the end, my friend. I must. I cannot let my own fears get the better of me. I want to conquer my phobias once and for all. I have come so far, it would be a shame to retreat now. She looks at me beneath a sweep of darkened eyelashes, her face only partially illuminated by my flashlight. And I know I will be safe with you. I trust you wholeheartedly. And I'm sure you will keep me safe no matter what happens. Nothing's going to happen, Maria. But you're right on the score. I'll do my best. I'll be a perfect cuddle partner if I couldn't ally your worries. Thank you, dear. If I'm with you, I should be able to tough this out. I just need to keep going. It shouldn't be that hard. I only need to place one foot after the other. So place one foot in front of the other. For some reason, I'm thinking about Christmas now. Speaking of things, of silliness, like Christmas, I mean, I do enjoy Christmas. Vibrator, quick question. Have you ever heard of the video game called Frogger?
I believe so.
Well, I just want to say this, if you've never heard, since you know what it is, but for the ones watching who don't, it's pretty much about getting a frog from one end of the street to the other without getting ran over, eaten by a crocodile, or drowning. Apparently Peacock, aka NBC, is making a live-action video game show called Frogger. Which, to me, I'm like, why are you making a game show based on Frogger? That's probably the dumbest idea I ever heard. Now, I'm going to give it a watch because it looks stupid in a silly good way, but I feel like they're just trying to copy Wipeout, Wipeout, or American Ninja Warrior to a degree. I can do this. Mira's eyes burn with newfound determination, smoldering like foxfire. I can. I have always been my own worst enemy. I shall not let my own fear best me. I am a mature woman, and I am far too old to get scared by things which go bump in the night. Are we sure it's ghosts that are bumping and not your horniness? Really, I am being foolish. I know full well there's no such things as ghost or yeah, if you don't believe in ghosts, can I recommend the abandoned insane asylum right across the street? Key! Leo breaks off, screaming as the undergrowth hustles anew. She clings to me, her head buried against my shoulder, and whimpers like a startled kitty. I don't think I can take much more of this. Well, so much for that burst or self-confidence. It vanished as quickly as it came, scouting on the breeze like cherry blossoms. I guess Maria, headstrong though she is, isn't going to shake off her phobias anytime soon. Hey Thunder, hope you're having a good night tonight. The night stretches out ahead of me, dark and impenetrable. This is what happens when you're not good with big words. Impenetrable. Guess in better words, yeah, we can't see shit even with the flashlight because it's too damn dark. At this rate, we'll never make it to the shrine of the silver monkey. I just hope we don't get lost. Then I might start to lose my cool too. Well, if you get lost, at least you're with a beautiful woman. I wish I had that kind of luck. Half an hour later, well, what do you know? This wasn't half as hard as I feared. That looks like something I would see in Inuyasha. An old dilapidated shrine looms before me in the darkness. Framed by trees, the shrine looks distinctly eerie, like something from a horror movie. Speaking of that, apparently the rumored Plus games for September are Overcooked for PS5, Hitman 2, and Put It a Hunting Ground. I will say this, Vibrator, if Put It a Hunting Ground is one of the free ones, you and me can actually get back to it and get back to playing it again, because we'll actually have more fucking people. Its wooden door is padlocked shut. No paper charms are stuck to it, either to keep them out, maleficent spirits out, or to keep them shut up inside. It's clear from a glance that the shrine hasn't been used in a long time. Some of the tires have fallen off the roof, and its wooden supports are cracked. The stone torches either side of the shrine are unlit, and the grass is overgrown, strewn with weeds and needles. I almost said Skittles. I shine my flashlight over the edifance of the old building, picking out details in the gloom. It's not a large shrine, but I wouldn't be surprised if it caved in under its own weight. It looks distinctly worm-eaten and would-be-gone. When was the last time anybody came here to pray? Probably the same time the Detroit Lions had a chance of actually making the fucking playoffs. For all I know, it might have been 10, 20, hell, even 50 years. Like I said, when the Detroit Lions actually had shots of making the playoffs. I don't feel too propertude as I gaze upon it. Instead, I feel a strange kind of sympathy. There's something very sad and lonely about this run-down building. I'm sure somebody must have cared for it once in the past, but the priest who tended it is in all likelihood too infirm to wade through the forest to unlock the door and sweep its old stone steps. That, well, they're long dead. Looks like we're the first ones here. I shine the light about the dirt in the grass, but I can't see any footsteps. The place looks more or less untouched. Hazel, Yuri, Hufame, and Cosmos conspicuously absent, aka they're not here. I guess it really didn't matter that Hazel had been to this shrine before. Her sense of direction is every bit as awful as she promised. Does that make us the winners? I can't exactly kiss myself. I turned to Maria, smiling. But you're more than welcome to claim your prize if you want it. Do you want a celebratory kiss? Maria doesn't respond. She stands a few feet away from me, hands clenched at her front, her eyes wide, too wide, as she stares at the shrine. She didn't say all that much during our trek through the woods, but now she's completely silent. She's standing as still and stiff as the posts which support the shrine. Were it not for the bewailing of her white sundress which flutters about her legs, I'd worried she turned into stone. Maria, are you okay? Still, she says nothing. She looks utterly dumbfounded. I guess this place is pretty scary, but don't worry, there's nothing to be worried about. There ain't any ghosts to it, and even if they were, I'll fight them off. You got absolutely nothing to be scared of. Okay, how the fuck are you gonna fight off a ghost? Do you have something from the Ghostbusters so you don't cross the streams or some shit? Or do you have the Ghost Adventures crew here with us and I don't know about it? We got Zach in the game, or do we have the group in Destination Fear? Which you can watch those on the travel. No plugs. No, enough with plugs. I tried to reassure, but my voice is cut off by a rustle from the undergrowth, far louder than that caused by the scampering rabbits. A branch cracks, as loud as a gunshot, then another. Sounds like footsteps. Something is approaching us through the corpse of the trees. Something shadowy and unseen cloaks in the night. Again, it's probably a temple god guarding the shrine of the silver monkey. We need a pendant of life. Oh, it is somebody's voice cries, cutting through the stillness of the night. Huniko, is that you? Please say it is. I've been stumbling around in the woods for hours. It's so cold. I need you to warm me up. A bidinian figure is upon us with pale skin and dark steaming hair that seems to bloat at the moonlight. I see two white eyes, powder blue, flickering behind long eyelashes like willow wasps. Then the orange light illuminating from my flashlight begins to gutter. It flickers, then fades, plunging both Maria and I into near-perfect darkness. No, please, stay back. Maria, calm down. No, don't hurt me. Maria. A blood-curdling scream retches itself from Maria's throat. Eyes squeeze shut, she sinks down onto the ground, her hands clap firmly over her ears. Looks like she's having some sort of breakdown. Sounds like she's having a breakdown too. I've never seen Maria cry like that before. And neither, it seems, has a mysterious interloper with pale blue eyes. Dear me, did I do something to upset her? No, she was pretty jumpy already. The flashlight going off must have been the last straw. You didn't do anything wrong, you. Thank goodness, that is a relief. The shadowy figure, should I say you, signs in tandem with the flickering of my flashlight. Hello, nurse. Damn. The orange light emits from it in a new to reveal the countenance of a woman I know very well. Yuri stands before me, framed by a silhouetted row of dark trees. Her long black hair, which now that I think about it, does bear a striking resemblance to that of a silent TV-dwelling ghost, flutters around her pale face, framing it. She's wearing not her Succubus attire nor her extravagant casual clothes, if they can be called that, but a blue and white bikini. It was an itsy-bitsy blue bikini. It's a very cute swimsuit with girlish ruffles, but it doesn't really suit the environment. Why are you dressed like that, and what are you doing here? Oh, that, Yuri glances away, uncharacteristically flushed and pressed the tips of her index finger together. A pale pink blush captures her cheeks and her eyelashes quiver. It's a long story. You see, I heard you were all going on a summer vacation, and I thought it might be fun to join you. I didn't want to be left out. Well, that's fair. I don't think anybody enjoys being excluded, unless you're a particular type of masochist. Sorry about that. I would have invited you along if I'd known you wanted to come, but wait. I paused, my brow frowned. I thought Yuri did invite you, and you refused. Didn't you say you were too busy running the Succubus realm to take time off? Yes, indeed, I was busy, horribly busy. I still am, in fact. My Succubi are so demanding they cannot be without me for too long, else everything goes quite literally to hell. In a cell. My subjects are very sweet, but they need to be disciplined. As the princess, I cannot let anarchy take away. I get that. It sounds like you have your work cut out for you. It is a lot of work. That's why I rejected Ilya's initial offer. But after giving it some thought, I decided it would not be so very bad if I took a small break. Time passes differently in the Succubus realm, as you should be only too aware. A 4-day here beneath the sun. She pauses. Not that it's shining right now, but that is beside the point. A 4-day here only lasts a handful of hours in the Succubus realm. Yeah, I am aware. Yuri trapped me in the Succubus realm for weeks and weeks not so long ago. When I finally escaped, it's no more thanks to Ilya. I was relieved to discover only a couple of days had gone by in the human ward. I only missed a bit of work, and I didn't miss any of my rent payments for my cruddy apartment. That was a huge load off my mind. I want to be a proper professional ruler. I always puts the need of my subjects first, but I will hardly be a good princess if I'm prematurely tired. That's how I decided to justify, very close to throat. That's how I came to the objective, not all by his decisions that I would like, no, that I need a break. This is for the sake of my subjects. I am not abandoning them for the pursuit of my own leisure, so please do not get the wrong idea. I want to have fun with the rest of you, yes, but I'm actually being very selfish. I am here for the good of all descendancies of my realm, and therefore nobody can criticize me. That's what Yuri says, but she doesn't look at all certain. Her face is still red. With guilt, I think. And she's unable to meet my gaze. Is she afraid that I'm judging her? I am looking at her with some scrutiny, it is true. But that's not because of her supposed carelessness. She looks pretty good in that bikini. But she still hasn't answered my earlier question. Alright. Check my phone, because my phone's going cuckoo. Alright, I get why you decided to come here now, and to be honest, I don't blame you. You've not done anything to be ashamed of. But if you wanted to visit us at the beach house, you should have just done that. I don't know what you're doing in this forest, or why you've been wandering around wearing a swimsuit. You almost gave Maria a heart attack when you stumbled out of the forest like that. I glanced at Maria as does Yuri. She's still crouched on the ground, arms around her legs. She's walking back and forth, muttering to herself. I can't hear what she's saying exactly, but it sounds vulgar, like the hot sutta. Is she trying to calm herself down? Yuri may not be a ghost, but that does look like a pretty spectacle with her pale skin and her long dark hair. Her sudden and unexpected appearance must have given Maria quite the scare. Well, in regards to that... Another beautiful shot of anime titties. Yuri's face turns redder still. The lukewarm breeze stirs her long hair so it swishes about her. I left the scuba swim a couple hours ago in your time, which would have been a day or so in mine. I went to visit you at the beach house wearing the brand new swimsuit I picked out, but... She dips her head. I was so excited, my coordinates were a bit off when I teleported. Rather than appear at Yuri's doorstep, which I intended, instead it ended up in the middle of this forest. I've been trying to find my way out ever since, but but I'm not very good at directions. Feels like I've been going around in circles. All of these squares make a circle. And rub your belly around in a circle. I was afraid I would succumb to exhaustion and collapse to be feasted upon by wild wolves until you appeared. You saved me, Hunako. You are my prince. Gee, don't mention it. Sounds like you had quite a hard time. Yes, indeed I have. This is not how I imagined my holiday going. Not at all. I have spent hours in this stupid forest. Yuri's stomach rumbles, embarrassed, she whimpers. And I'm so hungry. Well, I think I have something for you to eat. Zip! Hinako, you haven't eaten in a day? Yuri shakes her head pitifully. I did find some funny-looking mushrooms growing by the base of a tree. I was so desperate, I thought about eating them. Okay, this is not the Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, that doesn't sound like the best idea. But I reconsidered. They were red with white spots, and they didn't smell good. Again, you don't eat those. Those are the mushrooms from Mario and Luigi. I was afraid they were poisonous. I'd say you dodged a bullet there, though I'm now wondering, can you poison a Succubus, aka a sex demon? Of course you can. We're not so different from humans, though we are a bit tougher. Poisons which might be lethal to a human would not be so much for me. They would only make my stomach cramp. I would not wish to spend my holiday vomiting, though. That would take all the fun out of coming here. I imagine it would. Well, I offer you a small smile. I'm glad I found you, but you hardly need to wait for me to rescue you. What do you mean? You're a Succubus, right? When you transform, you have wings. Yes, and... if it weren't for Yuri's very earnest expression, I think she was playing dumb on purpose. This solution to our problem seems to be so obvious to me, and I don't even have wings. I'm baffled. She even hit upon it during her sojourn in the forest, meddling among the trees while slowly starving. I've always thought you a sensible person, but I guess even the best of us have blind spots. If you won't get anywhere on foot, you could have flown. There was nothing stopping you flying out of here, was there? Yuri's eyes widen. Did she seriously not think of this before? I can hardly believe it. Yuri opens and closes her mouth, shamefaced, searching for a reply when... Alright, looks like we're nearly there. I hear footsteps coupled with a loud, cheery voice. It sounds a lot like Hazel. She must have found her way at long last, though it took a while. Seems like we have company. Do you want to greet them, Yuri? I turn to Yuri, but she doesn't hang around. Instead, she scrambles away, secretly herself way behind the dilapidated shrine. Why is she trying to hide? Is she that embarrassed about getting lost? Guess I can't blame her on that front, but she can't hide the truth forever. As Succubus princess, she needs to learn to fess up for her mistakes. Hey, you... I hiss at her, but I'm cut off by Hazel's sporty sex demon depends upon me, giving me a cutlery smack on the back. You must have been pretty speedy to get here so soon. Congratulations. Ugh, this isn't fair. I was determined to get here first so I could steal your lips, but you beat me. Now you will have to kiss yourself. I wonder how that will work. Would just be the man in the mirror. With a... even Hazel said it, damn it, with a mirror. So Unico can always make out with his own reflection. Ah yes, I did not think about that. How ingenious. I suspected it is possible to kiss yourself after all. But wouldn't that be self-obsessed? B.O. self-obsessed? That's so lewd. What are you jabbing on about? Did you guys get here before us? Oh. There you. Good timing. I was thinking about B.O. self-obsessed. Huh? What's that? Please allow me to explain. When a man loves another man very much, who in this case just so happens to be himself, they get together to do naughty things and then lay an egg. What sort of egg? A softboard egg, Hufame says? Cosmos ponders, one hand beneath her chin. I'm not sure about the Pacifics. I just read about it once in a doji. It looked very convincing. Yeah, sure. Hey, we rolls our eyes. You need to get some better hobbies, Cosmo. Reading all that junk is rotting your brain. You say that, but some dojos have really cute art and really moving stories. The people who make them put a whole bunch of effort into it. I love reading them, even the steamy ones. I even found a few dojos of you, Ariel. Please don't talk about me about that. I don't ever want to imagine the delusional fantasies about me and that are available online. I only have so much faith in humanity. Now, Ariel, it's not nice to be whatever that word is. Hufumi pats Ariel on her head as she's wont to doing. You ought to try and see the best in others. Obsessing over the negatives will only upset you. Hifumi is right. You gotta look on the bright side. All those doji authors did when they wrote about you. They make you way nicer you are in real life. And they make your chest bigger too. How dare you? There's nothing wrong with my chest. So I see you're in one piece. Hazel looks up me and down smiling. Why is Maria all hunched in a pile over there? She hasn't hurt herself, has she? She should be fine. She just had a bit of a fight. What sort of fight? She didn't see a real ghost, did she? Goodness me. I'd love to see a real ghost. Could you tell me about it? Maria, what did it look like? Was it very white? Was it wearing a funeral kimono? Perhaps it was crying tears of blood? I was murmuring about revenge? Not quite, no. This ghost was more corporal than that. You see, I began, but I'm cut off by a common voice full of pomp. Yes, it is I, Princess Sakura the Succubus one. I designated to visit you, my foolish scubby knight, so that you may bask in my splendor. Rejoice, for now I am here to watch over you. Yuri steps up from behind the Ramsek shrine, her appearance drastically altered. She was wearing a skimpy bikini when I ran into her, but now she's in a sextyman regale, her horns proud and tall, her shoulders enveloped by a full cloak. There's no trace of her prior embarrassment upon her elaborate face. Her pale blue eyes are hard and commanding. She looks cool and composed as she did upon her throne in the Succubus realm. I'm aware she's acting, but damn, it's a good act. She could even give Hufumi a run for her money. Wow, Lady Yuri, I didn't think you'd come here. I was hoping you wouldn't come here. I didn't want you breathing down my neck for the rest of the holiday. Yuri turns her nose up in the air. You need not worry on that score, Ariel. I have no desire to trouble myself with the likes of you. I came here only so I could communicate so I might better rule my subjects in the Succubus realm. I do not care for you at all. Oh yeah? Well, same here. It looks like I'm grateful you let Honoka go from the Succubus realm back then, or anything, you idiot. I, for one, think this is quite a fortuitous turn of events. It's very good to see you, Yuri. How long have you been here? Oh, about that. Yuri's Fredicus blades for a fraction of a second. Embarrassed, she looks away, her cheeks pink. I only just got here. I was drawn, you see, by the sounds of you merrymaking. I was attracted like a moth to the flame, and then Yuri's words trail away and her stomach growls. The rumbling is so loud even Maria ceases her shaking. She gets to her feet, though her legs are unsteady, and regards Yuri with some surprise. When did you get here? That's what I'm trying to assent. She only just arrived, but based upon her guilty expression, I reckon it's been longer than that. You did not get lost, did you? No, I didn't really, I didn't. Are you sure? I know your sense of direction is somewhat lacking, though you're very complete in all other regards. You needed be embarrassed there. I'm your older cousin, and I know your phobia is better than anybody. Please do not feel the need to hide your secrets from me. I'm not worried about you as much as I am the others. Yuri glares at Maria. But, well, if that's what you wish to believe, it is not so very far from the truth. I've been here for a while, and I'm rather hungry. You wouldn't mind preparing some food for me when we return, would you, Hufumi? Of course not. It would be my pleasure. Now, why don't we retrace our footsteps? I think we had more than enough excitement for one night. Hufumi has a very good point there. So much has happened. I'm still reeling from it. I can't wait to get back home and have a lie down. I think I've earned it. After the excitement at the abandoned shrine, our party returns to Ariel's beach house with +1. Yuri tags along behind us like a permanent child, her head hanging. Hufumi whips Yuri up something to eat when we return, which Yuri falls upon ravenously. In KK, she was hungry as fuck. Her hunger satisfied, she then pays me a visit in my room. Yuri is no longer attired in her skin-tight succubus outfit, nor her bikini. She's clad instead in a sweet, almost demure white dress with a blue sash tied about the front. The sash is almost the same color as her eyes. Her dark hair contrasts nicely with the pale fabric of her dress. Again, why can I not have any of these women coming to my house? I mean, I would be okay with a sex demon coming to my house. What about you, Vibrator? Vibrator stepped away from his headset. And to the one person who's still watching, I hope you're enjoying yourself tonight. I let Yuri into my room and she takes a seat upon the side of my bed. Several times she opens her mouth as though she means to say something, but in the end she's unable to get any words out. She's acting very strangely, though not I note with some relief as strangely as she acted when I first found her. Something must be amiss. I wonder what that could be. Are you alright, Yuri? Yes, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. I should probably away to my own room. Ariel said she would prepare one for me, but I thought at first I would like to speak to you. I hope it is no intrusion. Yuri isn't acting at all how I remembered in the Succubus room. She was demanding, forceful even. Back then, she had no qualms in exerting her dominance over others. Now, however, she seems the complete opposite. Perhaps that's because we're in human world, not the Succubus realm. She's pretending to be an ordinary person, not a princess. She's been stripped of much of her pomp. She was pretty awkward when I first met her a decade ago, when she was managed as an ordinary high school student called Yuki. She didn't have many or any friends when she ever spoke to anybody apart from me. I thought she was a hoof, but I might have been mistaken. It's possible she was simply shy. It's not an intrusion at all. I am glad I got a chance to see you again. Really now? Yes, really. It wouldn't be much of a holiday if I couldn't spend it with all my girlfriends. I like the others an awful lot, but you're special to me too, Yuri. You were my very first girlfriend, and I still cherish you. You know, I was thoughtless, possessive. Even so, we moved past that. It's water under the bridge. I understand you were acting out because of jealousy, and you since apologized. I'm not going to hold it against you. That's a relief. It's been such a long time since I last saw you. I've been awfully busy with work. I begin to worry. In truth, I wanted to come on vacation with you very much. But it was not just any sense of duty which deterred me. I was afraid if I came, I would spoil things for you. I behaved very selfishly when I took you to the Succubus realm. I took you against your will and held you captive. I dominated you every waking hour and tried to keep you away from the others. It was wrong of me. I would not usually act in so rash in manner, particularly not for the sake of a human, but I cannot think clear when I'm with you. My judgment eropes, as does my sense of right and wrong. I still love you after all these years, but that does not excuse what I did. I wish to punish myself, I suppose by keeping away from you and hiding away in the Succubus realm. but I was curious and I found myself watching you and the others from afar. You look like you are having so much fun, I could no longer stand it. My resolve crumbled and I came to see you. But I was so hasty I made a grave error. I got lost and then made a fool out of myself. You must think me so stupid. Stupid? No. Silly? Well, maybe silly. It's nothing to beat yourself up over, though. We all make mistakes. And like I said, I'm glad you decided to stop by. It felt like something was missing without you. Don't you think you need to stay away from... Don't think you need to stay away from me. I don't want you punishing yourself or making yourself unhappy. I far prefer seeing you smile. Oh, Hunako, you're so cool. I've met other human men in my time, but none stole my heart as do you. This is why I fell for you, and I believe I may be falling still. Every time we meet, I find myself loving you even more. I've missed you so much. I've missed you too. Yui leans in, our faces inches apart, our lips almost brushing when... God damn it, Hazel, you are the biggest cock blocker I've ever seen on the planet Earth. Leaving a comment for a friend of mine on one of his things. Of course, I get a comment, somebody reply. Lady Yuri, it's been so long. I'm so glad to see you again. Hazel comes in bounding into my room, a few excitable puppyish energy. She was wearing her casual clothes when she threw my door open, but her appearance shifts like rippling water upon seeing Yui. And she transformed into a... God damn, she looks better when she's in her demon form. Horns spout from her head and a tail protrudes from her back. This tail wags back and forth, which makes her look more like a puppy than ever. Her green eyes, meanwhile, are positively sparkling. Oh my gosh, you're not in your Succubus outfit anymore. You're wearing a white dress and car. It's all flowy too. You look like a fairy. I've never seen you wear anything like that before, Lady Yuri. Not in all my days. Wow, you're cute enough to eat. I want to nib on those squishy cheeks of yours. You're the best. It's good to see you too, Hazel, but... Yuri begins, but Hazel cuts her off. She dives headfirst at Yuri, her peerless idol, and knocks her over backwards onto the bed. You're so cute, I want to kiss you over. Here, here, and here. Hazel nuzzles Yuri's cheek while the flustered Yuri tries to throw her off. Hazel, please, this is most undignified. This is no way to treat your superior. Remember who I am and unhand me, else I'll use my magic to turn you into a toad. Oh, I'm sorry. This threat helps restore Hazel to her senses. Her door dows, she draws away from Yuri. Her Succubus attire fades as her frenzy does, and gallantly she helps pull Yuri up. I don't know what came over me. Haha, it's just been such a while I couldn't help myself, and you really do look adorable. It's no wonder Hugo's crazy about you. I am too. I'm your biggest fan. What Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you to say, but... Yuri cast me a sideways glance. Hunako and I were in the middle of something. Oh, yeah? Hazel grins. Well, things getting hot and steamy? Should I have not interrupted? No, they were not. I only meant to kiss him. Until you interrupted. A kiss, huh? That's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. But since you're and Hanukkah have been reunited, don't you want to do something a little more, you know? Hazel makes a lewd hand gesture. I don't mind at all if what makes going on. I'm kind of dumb, but I'm not totally dense, and I can take a hint. If you'd rather be alone, I get it. I can leave. It has been a while since I saw you last, though, Yuri. And I was wondering. Hazel smiles, her index finger pressed together. Would you mind if I joined in, too? This is a real touching reunion. And I wouldn't mind doing a bit of touching, too. Does that sound like fun? I think it does. Vibrator, I think we're about to see a threesome happen in this video game. How does that make you feel? Again, like I said, this game is not for children.
Oh, I thought it was a game to teach your kids about the birds and the bees.
No, that was the race with... I'm not even going to mention that other game. Well, I had hoped...
Okay, then, sir, I'm going to find a fork to stab both of my eyes out.
Oh, no. Trust me, though. You know I'm not going to buy that piece of crap. I learned my lesson. Sometimes I shouldn't buy games that are that dumb. But I probably will forget that lesson in about 2 weeks. Well, I had hoped Hunako and I could have some time alone, but... Yuri smooths down her right skirt, then adjusts her hair, which got a bit tangled during her tussle with Hazel. Yuri did teach me back in the Succubus room that some pleasures can be only experience if one is willing to share. As much as I love Hunako, I don't want to be too controlling. I've tried to take Ariel's teachings to heart. Though it is funny, I never once imagined that girl had any worthwhile to say, let alone learn, and well, Yuri turns Hazel's eagle smile with a decidedly more hesitant one of her own. I suppose I would not be opposed to the idea. What do you say, Hunako? Like, I'm gonna I'm gonna say this, and I know a female's gonna comment and say, oh, you're piggish and sexist. What man would turn down a threesome? In all honesty, that's one of the men fantasies now. I'll be honest. When I get a girlfriend again, if that's what she wants to do, hey, fine. If she doesn't, I'm okay. But I think we know where this is going. So, they're gonna ride it, my pony. One attractive woman is all well and good, and Yuri is very, very good looking. But two attractive women are even better. I'm a bit tired after the day's events, but I'm not so tired I'd pass up an opportunity like this. Holidays exist so we can enjoy ourselves. And that's exactly what I intend to do. Oh, we don't even get to see a picture of it or anything. God damn it. Talk about bullshit. I wake early in the following morning to send downstairs to find Yuri and Hufame present in the kitchen. Yuri's sitting at the table and she's already devouring her breakfast. This breakfast, like the others Hufame has made, is in traditional Japanese style. There's white rice, pickled vegetables, grilled salmon, white rice, and today, for a change, natto. Kinda weird they said white rice twice. I'm not overly fond of natto myself. Its strong smell tends to put me off, as does its gloopy texture. My mother forced me to eat it as a kid. She said it was related trauma. I prefer to keep my distance from refermented soybeans, if at all possible. But Yuri doesn't seem to share my my ideas on it. She looks very happy as she chows down on her food. Your cooking is so delicious, Hufame. I've missed it while I've been in this Scubblegus realm. I have my own chefs in the place, like Chef Ramsay, but they cannot prepare food like you. Their food is always lacking. Their rice is not as firm as fluffy as yours. Their grilled fish is not as crispy. And they never serve Nito. There is nowhere to purchase it in the Scubblegus realm, and my chefs do not know how to make it. I grew rather fond of these fermented beans during the year I spent in Japan, and it breaks my heart that I cannot sample it more often. Num 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 num. Wait, I think I hit back by Japan, so let's continue forward. Num 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 num, like the Cookie Monster. Yuri plops another bite of white rice and natto into her mouth, then chews continuously, I guess. Her cheeks puff out as she eats like a hamster. She has a few grains of rice stuck to her upper lip. Hufame giggles as she watches her, one hand on her cheek. I'm very grateful to hear it, and of course I am glad I can cook for you once more. I am partial to natto myself, but the others are less keen. Airyu says it's disgusting and the smell makes Cosmosis react. Maria eats it, but I think she does it for the health benefits, as to opposed genuinely enjoying it. It's the most gratifying that you and I are on the same page. Well, we are related. Perhaps it is not so unusual that our tastes are so similar. We both like the same sorts of food. Yuri's eyes fall upon me. I've been lingering in the entrance to the kitchen for a while, hoping to be unbeknownst, but I guess I'm not as stealthy as I'd like to think. And we both like the same man, too. That is indeed true. As cousins, we have many similar traits. It is nice that we can celebrate our similarities, and I am pleased we'll no longer feel the need to fight over Hunako. I have felt much closer to you since we established this truce of ours, my dear cousin. Me too. I know I treated you terribly for a while, Hufame, and I'm sorry about that. You're not an underling, and I had no way to treat you as such. You're part of my family, and I'm glad I was able to see you again. And although I know my actions may not always make it evident, I too love you. Somebody was knocking on my door. I love you too, dear, and I will never stop being grateful that you chose to ascend the throne in my stead, to become the princess of the Scubblegus realm. Ah, interesting. I'd say my friend, one of my female friends, comes in at this point. That's the thing I noticed. I don't think I have that many of any female viewers, to be honest. By the way, don't forget there are some. I know Vibrator, you don't watch this too much, but there are some college football games that air Saturday afternoon. Vibrator says, "Who needs therapy after this?" I need therapy after this. Really, Vibrator? No therapy. What I want you to do instead is type in My Strange Addictions on YouTube and watch some weird ass shit. You saved me a great deal of heartache, though I must apologize in turn for fostering all my problems upon you. I feel it was not fair of me to burden you with my responsibilities. It is no burden. I agreed to take the throne because I wish to. It can be lonely in the Scubblegus realm, and I decry with the lack of NATO, but it is not all bad. I enjoy being pampered and worshipped by all my subjects, and it is a fulfilling job. The power to The power did get to my head, I will admit. I was risk of going down a dark path, but I've since seen the error of my ways. Now I listen only to be good. A good fair ruler. I will keep the peace for both my sake and yours. So do not worry, I will not let you down. Thank you, Yuri. You're such a sweet girl. By the way, I'm not doing any more female voices because I think Vibert is giving me, you know, I can't see him. I have a feeling Vibert is giving me that look of death, like I'm going to stab Doug's eyes out and then rip out his tongue. Hirame smiles in the gentle, motherly manner of hers. You have a bit of rice stuck to your face. I do? Just here. Hirame brushes the stray kernels of rice from Yuri's upper lip, then pops them into her own mouth. She swallows the rice, then smiles. One does not wish to boast, but your previous assessment was quite correct. The food is delicious. Perhaps I will help myself to some breakfast too. I cannot watch you eat that natto without wishing to sample some myself. What about you, Hunako? Would you like some natto? You know what? Because I am with Hufame, who's one of my two main girls that I would date in the real world, now I will give it a try just to make her happy. Sure, I'll give it a go. I'm not a big fan of natto, but I'm a fan of Fufame's cooking. If anybody can make refermented soybeans taste good, she can. I'm going to trust on this one. Yuri spoke about it pretty high, too. Excellent. Hufame claps her hands together. I am so glad. You must be a man after my own heart. Hee hee. I wish you were real, because I think I'd probably get along with you the most, Hufame. I, too, am an incredible fond of natto. I wouldn't say I'm fond of it exactly, but I'm willing to be persuaded otherwise. You won't regret this, Hunako. Yuri offers me a smile. Once you have tried Hufame's natto, you'll never be able to look at refermented soybeans the same way again. Her natto is simply divine. I swear to God, that sounds like a use of it for vagina. Thanks, I'm looking forward to it. Ufame sets a bowl full of natto over rice in front of me. It looks very big, as stringy as I remember from my childhood, and it smells funny too. But I'm not one to balk. I pinch some groovy fronds of natto between my chopsticks, and then bring it to my lips. I pop the natto onto my tongue. I chew for a while, then swallow. That taste is deep, but it's not overwhelming. It doesn't make me want to gag, like my mom's natto did, despite its sticky texture. When paired with this white rice, it might actually taste good. So what do you think? Hufame watches me, smiling sincerely. Is it to your liking, my dear Hunako? Yeah, actually. I didn't think I'd be into this, but I eat another mouthful of natto, then another. Now that I've started, I can't stop. It's insanely moist. This is great. Thanks, Hufame. You really are an amazing cook. See? Yuri puffs her chest out proudly. I said you'd like it. Hufame's natto is amazing. Oh, hardly. You're flattering me, the pair of you. But I do appreciate it. Hee hee. I smiled to myself as I chowed down on the rest of my natto. It's bright and sunny outside, and the skin is clear, a sun blue. Why is it every time I'm streaming, people want to send me a message? Now what's more stunning, because I'm not going to say the thing that Vibrata sent me on Twitter, but I can't believe that it's $16 for that fucking game on sale, and it's usually $30. Good lord. I want to know why there was a deluxe edition made.
That was just on the website. I didn't actually look to see what the price in store for it was.
Unfortunately, I did because apparently I'm an idiot. By the way, I should point out, one of the games I platinumed years ago got catalytic damage is getting remastered, so that's interesting. And hopefully, guys, I will be honest, I set my name out there and I'm going to try to get some more games to do. Let's take a look at. Hopefully, we'll be doing some good there. It all depends what happens, I guess. I can already tell it's going to be a wonderful day. It's a wonderful kind of day where you can learn to laugh and play and get along with each other. Hey, Yuri, I suppose this is the beach I observed you playing upon in the Succubus realm. I saw it yesterday myself, but that was under the cover of darkness. It's quite different during the day. Beneath the sunshine, it truly is beautiful. Yuri surveys the glittering sands, a small smile upon her face. She's clad in the same bikini as she wore yesterday when I first met her at the shrine, but now it seems more in keeping with her environment. I don't think I had a chance to fully appreciate how cute her bikini really is, owing to the mismatch between the dilapidated old shrine and Yuri's appearance. Now framed by the sand and the surf, Yuri's charms are immediately apparent. Her blue top clings to her chest, revealing an ample amount of cleavage. The front is tied with a cute girlish ribbon, but it's not at all infantilizing. Back to this now. Her long, supple legs are encased in black thigh-high stockings, and her hair trembles about her shoulders in loose waves. She's so tall and striking, she could be a model. Her pale limbs perfectly proportionated, and everything about her looks elegant. Hers is the sort of beauty which would inspire ballads. Not that I'm going to sit here and compose a poem in her honor. I'm no great shakes at composition. The most I can manage are a few rhyming couplets. Oh, Yuri, you look really good. I'd like to touch you if I could. Yeah, that's not gonna win me any awards anytime soon. I best keep my embarrassing attempts at poesy to myself. And there's Hazel in her bikini. Lady Yuri, you look really, really, really good in that swimsuit. You're to die for, Hazel says. You look made my whole day, no, my whole life, just by existing. Praise be, praise be. Okay, Hazel, I'm just gonna say this as it seems like this is where it's going. Hazel, just get on your hands and knees and bow down. Yuri, well, thank you. I'm glad you find me so appealing. It took me quite a while to decide upon which swimsuit to wear before I came here. It is gratifying to know that my choice was the correct one. All your choices are correct ones, Hazel says. My lady, you are so incredible you can't make mistakes. Okay, Hazel, maybe turn down the fandom from a 10 to like a 5. Hazel reminds me of those Shield fans when the Shield used to be together with all the women, like, oh, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, and the women would just go, oh. Anyway, Yuri says, I am not so sure about that. I have done many foolish things in my time. But your support is appreciated nevertheless. Hazel, oh, you know me. I support you no matter what. You've only got to ask me to jump and I'll say, how high? Now, is there anything I can do to make your holiday more enjoyable? Do you want me to fan you? Fetch you a drink? I could give you massages if you like. You know I'm good at those. Just say the word and I'll drop everything to help you. Yuri says that is commendable, but really not. You need not act as my underling now. You're on vacation too, as am I. I would not wish to impose any selfish request upon you. Though that being said, there is one thing I'm interested in trying. Hazel says, yes, Lady Yuri? Yuri, what is it? There's a sport humans partake in. I've heard it during my years spent in the human realm. It is called beach volleyball. I've happened to watch a few beach volleyball tournaments several years prior, and they look rather exhilarating. The participations wore cute swimsuits. They ran about and they appeared to have a good deal of fun. I've tried sitting upon my throne in the Dioscurgus room day after day, and was so hoping, Yuri presses her index fingers together and suddenly shy. Would you mind playing a game of this intriguing sport with me? I'd be most obliged. Hazel says, if that's what you want, then sure, let's team together and take on the others on. You won't lose with me by your side, Lady Yuri. I guarantee it will leave all the others in the dust. Or sand in this case. I can't wait. So 6 sex demons playing beach volleyball. What could go wrong, Vibrator? 10 minutes later. Well, I wish I was the Saiyan right about now in Hazel's case. And they give a good ass shot of Yuri. This game knows what pretty much what you need to make in a video game. Sex sells, right, Vibrator? And everyone watching. That's what I want everyone to get to today. Remember, hashtag sex sells. And also hashtag free Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Because I don't want to say this, and I'm happy, you know, I don't know him personally at all, but I would like to say I'm happy that Maximilian and all these other, because I've been sharing on Twitter all this stuff with the free. I love Marvel vs. Capcom 2. When I'm at MagFest or Too Many Games, you will always find me on that cabinet with my team of Juggernaut, Cable, and Bison. And the sad thing is, unless you still have it installed on the PS3, I think you have no way to play it now. Unless you have a Sega Dreamcast or an emulator. Yes, there is the game on PS2 as well, but everyone prefers the Dreamcast version. I can definitely understand that if I've played it on both. I would love to see that get re-released. I think it would make a lot of money. But I don't know if we ever will. If we do, that'd be great, but we shall see. Here we go. This is my Uri super special service. Just try and hit it if you think you're strong enough. Hey-oo! Third. Wow, that bar's going up really high. It's been swallowed by the sky. I didn't know you could hit it so hard, Uriel. I hate to admit it, but that is impressive. I thought this would be a cakewalk, but you're stronger than you look. Yuri, foo-foo, that's what you get for underestimating me, Hazel. I'm not Japan's top idol for nothing. My job's way harder than you might think. I have to perform on stage for hours, and a lot of my dance routines are really complex. I train religiously every day. My stamina is nothing to be sneezed at. I won't go down without a fight. The ball's coming back down, Hazel. Can you return it? It's coming in at a funny angle as it's moving super quick. It's like a comet. This might be harder than I thought. But I ain't gonna throw in the towel over something like this. Hi-hoo! Thud. Oh, she received it. She actually received it. Of course I did. I'm not about to let a pipsqueak like Ariel get the better of me. Especially not in front of Yuri. I'll return all of your spikes no matter how nasty. Even if it kills me. I'll eat the sand however many times it takes. All for the sake of receiving Lady Yuri's praise. I can't afford to lose. My, you're awfully determined. I would have been content to play a nice, relaxing game, but you're pushing yourself so hard I feel obliged to go out too. Take this. Thud. The ball's coming back. What will we do, Ariel? Don't panic, Cosmos. Let me take care of this. I'm more than just a pretty face, and I can give as good as I get. Thud, smack, crack, Rice Krispies. Whew. I whistle, holding one hand to my forehead as I observe the very vicious game of beach volleyball. Both sides are giving it everything they got. The ball's being smacked back and forth across the net with such velocity I can scarcely see it. It's nothing more than a blur. I sometimes forget my partners are Succubus, aka sex demons, but this scene has reminded me of the inescapable truth. They're not ordinary humans. There's no way I'd ever be able to punt a volleyball with such force. I could have biceps full and firmer than boulders and it would make no difference. Conscious of raw physical energy, we humans simply cannot hope to compete. Hazel. Hi-ya! Hadouken! Nice return, Hazel. That ball's moving so fast, I can't see it. It's fine, I can deal with it. Smack. I don't think I've ever seen Arya go this hard before. She doesn't seem to care for intense physical activity outside of performances. Her body is curvaceously but slender, arms willow, and she doesn't have much in the way of muscle mass, but she's killing it out there. Arya is something to behold, but Hazel's even more intense. She dashes from one side of the court to the other, kicking up sand in her wake. Her muscles ripple beneath her tanned skin. Her ponytail streams behind her as she smacks spikes and serves the ball over the net. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. A cross shot ain't enough to stop me. I could see it coming from miles away. Ugh, that meathead is more formidable than her happy-go-lucky personality would suggest. I had to kick this up a notch. Go right ahead. Don't hold back on me, you hear? I'm having so much fun. Oh, yeah? You think this is fun? Why don't you try this one on for size? Thud. Oh, no, you don't. Smack. They're going at this so hard, I wouldn't be surprised if they bust that pro volleyball right open. This competition is incredible, but it's kind of scary, too. I hope Oreo and Hazel never turn on me. As they have this volleyball, my life would be no longer worth living. Hufame says, "Isn't this nice?" Hufame sides up to me. Her lips curled into a modeling smile. I'm glad they're getting along so well. It's nice to see Yui playing with others. She doesn't get much of a chance to let off steam given her status. As her older cousin, I feel very happy on her behalf. Yeah, same here, I guess. Yui rarely smiled in the Succubus realm. She spent much of her time upon her throne, scowling while her subjects bowed and scraped before her. She seemed almost perpetually stressed at anger, save when she was with me. It's nice to see her having such a good time. And going back to this beautiful picture. Take this. Smack. That doesn't make her spike any less terrifying. I just had a thought. Perhaps a pair of us could team up and we could try to take on Hazel and Yuri on. I am not athletically minded myself. I prefer genuine pursuits such as Kutia, but it might make for a nice change of pace. What do you think, Konako? I don't think I want to participate in this because I'm afraid I would die. Thud, smack, crack. I'd say I can say I'm rather not. I'm not a masochist. I'm too young and handsome to die. I happen to like my head where it is things. If I get killed by a speeding volleyball, I'll never be able to marry you. I know which one I'm picking. Sorry, Hufame, but I have to pass. That game of beach volleyball looks pretty dangerous. If I got hurt, I'll never be able to marry you. That's why I've got to look out after myself. Marriage? Hufame's cheeks turned scarlet. Have you truly considered marrying me, Hunako? The thought has crossed my mind from time to time. You make a pretty good wife. You make your supers to die for, though not literally. I still have precisely zero desire to involve myself in that volleyball match, despite Hufame's wordling. Goodness me, that is awfully kind of you to say. Hufame smiles, one hand pressed against her cheek. I would be most pleased if such an event did come to pass, so I will start from instructing you to join my sisters. This may sound selfish, but I think I'd rather have you to myself. Hufame winds her arms through mine, giggling to herself as she does. Rosie says, the fuck is this porn? This is not porn. This is pretty much sex demons who all want to have me, but again, Rosie, remember, it's anime titties. I'm sure Dark Knight's going. Her face is flushed and her glasses are starting to steam up. I wonder what she's thinking about. Who for me, marrying my dear Hunica would be so wonderful, truly. It sounds like a dream. I would love to walk down the aisle with you wearing white. Then, after our wedding, there would be the reception, and after that, our first night together. Naturally, I'll be sure to wear the most expensive lingerie I have beneath my wedding dress. Rosie said, no, he's lying. He's just trying to be nice. Period. I would not want to disappoint you. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what thoughts are going on through her head. Who for me might be an elegant, refined woman, but she has quite the lewd side of her own. It must come with the territory being a succubus. He don't know what you're talking about. Sure he doesn't. If he doesn't know what motorboating is, then I have to question his insanity. I'm glad I was able to take her mind off the volleyball deathmatch. I feel like I've dodged a bullet there. Back in the living room, Yui. Goodness me, that was quite the workout. I cannot remember the last time I played that much. Perhaps my enthusiasm was unstable, suitable for the princess of the Succubus realm, but it was entertaining too. Yui sits on the couch in the living area, both hands resting demurely upon her lap. It is a little after midday, and we just finished eating a delicious and extravagant lunch prepared by Hufame. Yui's changed out of her swimsuit, and she's back in her white summer dress with the blue sash that matches her eyes. By the way, Rosie Dark Knight, pretty much the story of this game, because you have to pretty much, because this is part 4 of the game. Pretty much, you're a dude who ends up having 6 sex demons who all want to be with you. The perfect life. She smiles at Hazel, who's sitting beside her, her expression soft and gentle. Thank you for indulging me, Hazel. I enjoyed our beach volleyball match immensely. No problem. I'll be glad to play with you anytime, Lady Yui. I must also thank you, Hufame, for cooking me this delicious food. I've missed your cooking while you've been in the human realm. It's been my pleasure, dear. I think you could use some fattening up. You've been working yourself so very hard, I fear you'll end up like a skeleton. Play with... I think... Well, we know, so Rosie's the only female viewer tonight. You must remember to eat, even when I'm not there to nag you. Sometimes it slips my mind. Remember, people, it is important to eat, particularly if you're diabetic. Because no one wants to look as skinny as Paris Hilton. But I'll try to be more conscious in the future. Thank you for letting me stay in your home, Ariel, and for giving me a room of my own, and thank you, Cosmos, for playing with me on the beach. I even want to thank you, Maria, for not holding my previous acts of petty cruelty against me. I feared you might hold it against me, but you have been surprisingly nice. I did hold them against you, but I've since learned to let it go. It does not do for adults to hold petty grudges. Let it go, good lord, look at her titties. I think I just came up with a new song. And let them go, let those titties loose, let them fly in the air. More like playing bed. I just realized something when we get the...
Well, I go down every gallon of bleach that Walmart has.
Because of my singing? You do realize when we get to Kingdom Hearts 3 Vibrator that one of the stages is the movie Frozen, right? So just imagine how I'm going to ruin that for children.
Okay, so I know not to join any parties when you stream that.
Well, here's... Oh, no. Oh, come, you don't even know what part that would be. Sadly, I lose my Winnie the Pooh jokes. But I do get Toy Story jokes, so that's going to be fun. I would like to think myself more mature than that. You are very mature indeed. Perhaps I could learn a thing or two from you, if I'm to be a well-respected leader. Rosie says, who are you talking to? I'm talking to a vibrator, Rosie. You're very mature. I just read that. I have always had something of a short temper, but lashing out at my subjects rarely resolves any problems. It only makes them resent me or feel me. AK, you just described the Philadelphia Eagles organization. I would prefer to argument my will by not opposing others, but by appeasing them. The Succubus realm will be in a better place, I think, if I'm able to manage my own temper. Finally, Yuri turns her gaze upon me, her powdered blue eyes soft and gentle. Thank you, Hunako, for being so nice to me, and for showing me such a good time. Your kindness is most appreciated. You don't need to thank me for that. I was only doing what came naturally. That is very sweet of you, Yuri giggles. I wish I could stay longer, but I fear I have tarted long enough as it is. My subjects will start to flee to my whereabouts. If I'm absent for too long, Discovery Giswell may collapse. Thank you, all of you. I've most enjoyed our reunion, but now it's time to say goodbye. Please hold me in my heart, my dear Hunako. I do not know when next I will be able to see you, but I will never stop thinking of you. I really do love you. I love you too, Yuri. I wish you could stay longer too, but I wouldn't want to keep you away from your work. I get chewed out by my boss if I'm 5 minutes late, and I'm only a photographer. Well, she said, all women are short-tempered to begin with. That's why we need love in bed all the time to calm down. Okay, so we can actually say this. Rosie is the first woman on this mini Let's Play, a bonus Let's Play we're doing, that has said women love sex. At least she is admitting the truth that most women don't want to admit. Because I know some women who don't want to admit they enjoy sex. Then yet again, I know some women who like handcuffs and whips and hot candle wax. Being a princess of a whole nation must come with unprecedented amount of stress. It is stressful, yes, but it is less knowing that you exist in the world and that you can care for me. Now I shall take my leave. Farewell, my dear subjects, and farewell, Hunako, my dearest subject of all. Yuri presses a further light kiss against my mouth, then quicker than blinking, she disappears. Well, once Yuri sat, there is now nothing more than empty air. She was only here for a day, but I miss her already. It would have been nice if she could stay longer, but I know this isn't our final goodbye. We will see other again sometime, perhaps sometime soon. We'll go on dates like we did when we were teenagers, nearly infatuated with one another. I'll take her to the countryside again. We'll go for a long walk through the fields, and paddle in the crystalline rivers. Or perhaps we'll come back to the beach so we can enjoy the surf and watch the setting sun. Either way, I'm sure we will enjoy ourselves. Yeah, I can guarantee you there will probably be a part 5 for this, because this is the 4th game, and I think there's like, I think from the ones who created said there's probably, they said there's 7 or 8 of these, so Vibrator, just know we'll probably be, when the 5th and 6th and whatever come out, I'll probably be picking them up. Yuri is my first ever girlfriend, and while she's no longer my only girlfriend, she still holds a special place in my heart. It doesn't matter that she is a sex demon and I am a human. It doesn't change my feelings for Yuri, not one bit. I am really fond of her. Oh, isn't that sweet? The rest of the day passes pleasantly enough after Yuri's exit. I go to the beach and get into a sandcasting building competition with Cosmos and Hazel, which Cosmos wins by a large margin. She has good eye for artistic stuff. It must be because of all those photos she takes. Cosmos takes a lot of victory snapshots of her winning sandcastle, and even a few photos of my less than impressive sandcastle, and Hazel's disappointing sand mound. My place is not grandiose enough to be called a castle, was at least able to stay up, but Hazel's was an utter disaster. It collapsed in on itself like an overbaked flan, leaving nothing in its wake but an unsharpie pile of sand. The time slips away from us, as it wont to doing, and before I know it, the sun has set. The 6 of us return to Aria's beach house to eat Hufume's delicious cooking, and after our meal, the owner of said beach house slides up to me. Hey, Hunako. Aria looks at me consistently, her eyelashes fluttering. I don't know if you noticed, but it's quite the beautiful night. The stars are shining, and the ocean looks dark and mysterious like a mirror. There's a bit of a chill, but it's not too cold. In fact, it's some rather... Aria's voice disappears to a whisper. Romantic. I have always wanted to go on a stray moonlight walk alongside the person I love, so if you're not too busy then... Oh god, Hazel's gonna... Again, Hazel, this is the second time you've cock-blocked me. Stop cock-blocking the main character. Shit. Hazel's loud voice interjects as it wont to doing. During this vacation, she's hauled me out of bed at stupid o'clock in the morning, barged in on me and Yui during a private moment, and now she's intruding on Aria and I. It's almost comical how insensitive she can unwittingly be. But Aria doesn't look remotely amused. In fact, she's pouting. Keep this straight, I was trying to talk to Hunako. You can talk to him anytime, but I've got something I want to share with all of you, and it's super important. I think you all love this new plan of mine. Oh, no. The ghost story you told was stupid. The second thing, going out into the dark forest to fuck with the temple guards to find the shrine of the silver monkey, was dumb. What plan? Maria, who's sitting on the couch with Hufume, idly flicking through TV channels, gave Hazel an uneasy side-eye. This doesn't involve ghost stories, does it? To Maria's credit, her voice only trembles a little when dreaded G-word comes up. If I wasn't aware of her phobia, I might not have even noticed that small slip-up. I would not mind going for another walk in the woods, I confess. I am quite curious about that shrine. Perhaps we could try to break in? It was secured by a lock, but it must be quite an old one. I am sure with a bit of finesse, I could remove it to reveal all sorts of wonders. Hufume's eyes light up. Perhaps that shrine is full of old abandoned equipment. I'm sure it is filled with long-forgotten treasures, dusty perhaps, but of great cultural worth. Like what? I don't know. This is only a hypothesis, but I'd like to believe it's full of items for rituals, or maybe torture equipment. Torture? Okay, now the tremors in Marie's voice is pleasant. It's funny, she of all people would balk at the thought of rusty or torture devices given all she's done to Aria and Hazel, but she must make a distinction between humiliation and outright mutilation. As sadistic as Marie can be, she never once tried to tear out anybody's fingernails. Oh, that sounds kinda cool. Hazel, meanwhile, seems to have no comprehension about torture. I never knew she was into things like that. Well, she's into jogging at fucking 4 o'clock in the goddamn morning. I'm sorry. I'm probably in bed asleep at 4 o'clock in the morning unless I'm at a video game convention. Fuck. Do you know much about torture implements, Hufume? Oh, only a little. I'm interested in human history no matter how gruesome it may be, and I do like to research. I know that in ancient times some secluded villages had principal rituals. The residents in these villages worshipped wrathful gods, and to please them sometimes they would... I think that's enough. I have no interest in hearing any more spooky stories. Thank you, Hufume. But these ain't stories. They are true tales, sourced from historical documents. I've heard evidence such as many centuries ago the residents of 7 small secluded villages scattered across Japan would indulge in bloodthirsty practices such as... I don't think Marie's interested, Hufume. Maybe you could talk about it some other time. Very well, I abstain from derailing the night with my silly interests too much. Yeah, that is the one thing about us humans. We are fucked up in the head. We would... She is right. Centuries ago, we would sacrifice sheep, men and women, particularly if they were virgins, to gods. So yeah, we're kind of fucked up with our human history. We have no problem sacrificing a human being if it's to save the crop, to save the cornfield. In this case, the best way I can describe it would be like if you watch Children of the Corn, to where Malachi pretty much is like, yeah, kill all the adults. My apologies, Hazel. Hoofa bows her head. By the way, I would like to say this. If anyone's watched the new Candyman film, do not tell me about it, because I'm going to wait till it comes out on Blu-ray. Particularly since my car is still in the... Well, my car's a piece of shit. It's in the shop. What were you going to say before I so rudely interrupted? It's alright, don't worry about it. I interrupt all the time. We won't going back to the shrine, though. At least, it's not on my to-do list. Sorry about that, Hoofa. I thought we could instead all go out to the beach, you see. Hazel grins, then pulls a colorful cardboard box out from somewhere. Where was she keeping that anyway? It was way too big to slot into a pocket. I guess I'll chalk it up to Succubus' sex demon magic and try not to question the precise physics for lack of too much. I brought a whole bunch of fireworks with me, and I thought we could go set them off at the beach. Fireworks? Cosmo stares at Hazel, her mouth agape. You mean the sort of thing you see at festivals? The big fire flowers which explode in the air like bang, bang, bang? That's exactly right. I couldn't think of a more fitting description if I tried. I've got a whole bunch of rockets in here, in all sorts of colors. And I brought along enough sparklers too. Do you want to give it a go? It's such a nice night out. These fireworks should show up really well. Ooh, I want to. It sounds like fun. Fireworks. I find them rather vulgar myself and unnecessarily noisy, but I suppose it's not a bad suggestion. Certainly it is superior to the silly test of courage you had us embark on. If you wish to set these fireworks off... I really gotta remember which phone I'm grabbing. Hey, that's... Oh god, we might get... This stream might hit 2 hours. If you wish to set these fireworks off, I can always advise I do not trust you to do it without setting yourself on fire, Hazel. Fireworks? How lovely. It's been a long time since I last saw them. I'd be more than happy to join you. Though my curiosity about the old shrine has yet to be diffused. Please, Hoofa, drop the shrine. I don't want to think about that place, much less go near it. It's so run down, it's a health and safety hazard just waiting to happen. Yes, ma'am. Hoofa giggles coolly. I will try to behave. Well, I would rather spend this night alone at Huniko's side, but you're since so excited, I wouldn't like to ruin your fun. This is pretty bad timing, but alright, fine. Yui eventually declares with some forcefulness, we can go set off silly fireworks if you want. It is summer out there. Just don't expect me to whoop and cheer like an idiot. I'm not a little kid. Well, I thought you were. Then it's decided. Hazel punches her fist in the air. Let's go set off these bad boys. I'm sure it'll be lots of fun. And somebody will lose a finger, probably. Oh, boob. Bang, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies. Wow, that is a super big one. The colors are so very beautiful. It's unfolding in the sky like petals of a flower. It's not like these fireworks are anything special. I've seen plenty in my time. I'm not so mature I'd be impressed by a party display like this, but bang, crackle, pop. I guess they are kind of pretty. They remind me of shooting stars. They are nice, right? Aren't you glad I brought them? Glad is a bit of an overestimation. I'm indifferent, really. You're so tough to please, Airy, but don't worry. The next volley is gonna knock your socks off. Are you ready, Maria? I'm ready when you are. Okay, you can light the next batch. Right, that should do it. Whoosh! Ooh, these rockets are going very high indeed. They have disappeared into the sky. I wonder when they're going to explode. The waiting adds to the expense. It feels like we're at a real festival. Yes, indeed. All that's missing is goldfish scooping and the stars selling teriyaki. Hee hee. Speaking of which, I am other particular festivals than they take the place at shrines too. Please, enough about the shrine. Haven't we left that behind us? Very, very far behind us, back in the forest where it belongs. I have no desire to go back there either. It was creepy and dilapidated, and I bet it was full of bugs. Bugs can be charming, though, Hooverme says. Not cockroaches or wood lice. Hey, look, you guys, here it comes. Bang, crackle, pop. How charming. They're red and yellow and green. And my, they're simply beautiful. That's pretty impressive, actually. I've quite a low opinion of Hazel at the best of times, but she did outdid herself with these fireworks. They are lovely. Were they expensive? Maybe a bit. Bang, crackle, pop. But the money's no object. I just wanted to make this holiday one to remember. And it certainly is. You have exerted yourself. Goodness me, these fireworks are beautiful. Bang, crackle, pop. Hooverme's rude sounds coupled with the popping of fireworks strips down the beach carried on the crisp night air. Hooverme, Hazel Marie, and all look like they're having a lot of fun. But Cosmos is nearing a little way apart from them, playing with a sparkler. She looks a bit lonesome on her own. Should I join her? Let's make her happy. Yeah, I see what she's doing. I don't want her to be being left out. I approach Cosmosis, who's sprawling wide-eyed at the sparklers and kneel down beside her. That's a great picture, I gotta admit. Hey, Cosmos, are you having fun? Oh, Hunako. Cosmo turns to beam at me, her eyes glittering. This is incredible. Take a look at this. The sparkle is so bright and sparkly. I guess it would be. The clue is in the name. I guess so. Maybe I'm too old to get excited by stuff like this, but I think it's pretty cool. Cosmo stares at the sparkle pinched between her fingertips, her eyes wide. She's wearing a bikini again, which seems like a bit odd choice given the lateness of the hour. None of the others are in the swimsuits. Cosmo never changed out of her swimsuit earlier when she sat down in the living room to eat Hooverme's cooking. Because it was a simple being. She's been running on one question thought throughout this vacation, namely that being on the beach, wear a swimsuit. Anything else would be dumb. Her swimsuit clings to her curves, and I swear that fox cat attached to her is twitching. Her fingers are curled directly upon the stem of the sparkler, and with no small amount of enthusiasm she looks at me. Do you think this is cool? I can't even write my name. I can even write my name with it. Look. Cosmo flicks her wrist, and I'm also doing and in doing so spells out her name. I can see the letters in the air for a few seconds before they disappear. It's just like magic. It is funny you should say that being a Succubus, you can actually use magic. Compared to your powers, this shouldn't be anything too special. But it is special. The fireworks are very pretty, but so is the sparkler. And I'm on the beach with you and I'm having lots of fun. My phone wants to act dumb. You know, Cosmo shifts a little close to me, smiling gently as she does. I've never seen fireworks before I use a sparkler. This is all very new to me. Really? I blinked, perplexed. I thought you said you'd seen fireworks at festivals. I haven't, anime and manga and in TV dramas. But I've never seen fireworks in real life before. I haven't been in the human realm all that long, and when I first came here, I didn't have anybody to go with, though I wanted to. I asked Ariel, but she said she was too busy, and anyway, she wouldn't want to be seen dead with me. Cosmosis sighs. I was kind of lonely when I first came here. That was before I started my Rapid Pound account, so I didn't have any fans, let alone friends. I spent most of my time watching anime and reading in manga books, anime books, trying to make myself feel less lonely. It kind of worked. When I saw these characters going to festivals or the beach or theme parks, it made me even sadder. I wanted some friends too, that I could go out and have fun with. I was afraid it'd never happen. I'm kind of awkward, in case you hadn't noticed, but... Cosmosis scoots closer still, her bare shoulder brushing mine, her lips are sparkly tight like a talisman, her smile sincere. Then I met you. I fell in love with you the moment I saw you, and I'm really, really glad we can be together. We had so many fun experiences, and I bet there's even more fun on the horizon. When I'm with you, my heart melts all light and trembling. It's like my worries have disappeared. I'm glad to hear it. I feel happy when I'm with you too. You're the most adorable girlfriend in the whole world. And you're the most wonderful boyfriend. Because most giggles to ourselves contented. A brief silence pauses between us, broken by the popping of fireworks, which now sounds very distant. Hoof makes wonderful exclamations. The Cosmo speaks up, her voice soft and sweet. The beach is so pretty at night. What with all these stars, it's so peaceful. I was wondering, do you mind staying out here with me just a bit longer when all the others go back? I'd like if I could spend some private time together, just the two of us. I'm not very good with words, so maybe what I want to say isn't coming out right. But with actions, I should be able to promptly show you how I feel. I think I got a pretty good idea already. Cosmosa isn't exactly the queen of subtlety. But sure, I don't mind. I'd love to spend more time with you, just the two of us. Yay, thank you very much, Unico. You won't regret it. I'm sure I won't. Cursed were some of Cosmo's wardrobe choices are. She's too cute not to spend time with. The next morning, I rise early the following morning to the sound of squalling seabirds on the shore. I lecture in my bed for a few moments to contain to enjoyment the warmth that envelopes me. Lazing around like this feels nice, but why I'm not so as gun-ho as Hazel, and I come all the way out here to lie in bed. I could do that anywhere. I sit up stretching, raising my arms above my head, then violently I raise my sheets from my head, ready myself for the upcoming day. I get dressed, splash water, splash my face in the bathroom, and head downstairs. I'm greeted when I enter the open-plan living room with the familiar scent of Fufme's miso soup. She's standing by the stove, stirring a part of the stuff, a golden yellow-brown mix with bits of cut tofu and diced sprouting onions. Alright guys, I'm going to be right back, but we're going to keep playing this. I got to get something to drink. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Had to get water, then my body's like, go to the bathroom, you dumb son of a bitch. And sometimes that happens. If it tastes as good as it looks and smells, it should be delicious and nutritious. Because it's magically delicious, like her boobies. Good morning, Huniko. You're up early. You're the first one awake, other than Hazel. Did she head out for a jog already? I passed her as I was coming downstairs. She could be back any minute. Hazel, hey guys, bye guys. Now, the front door opens with a thud, and Hazel follows in, a ponytail bobbing behind her. Her body is slick with sweat, her shirt clinging to her chest, and her face is flustered. She doesn't offer any further greeting than the most perfectionate one. She kicks off her shoes, Hufumi tuts, and then slides about the kitchen island and sidesteps the couch like it's a slip Olymp course. In roughly 5 seconds, she made her way to the foot of the stairs, and in a third of that, she scales them and vanishes from view. I watch her blankly, as does Hufumi. Hazel moves so quickly, she was less woman and more a blow of limbs. She might as well have been a hurricane. Somebody sure is in a hurry. She's always like that, I'm afraid. One of these days she'll slip and knock her head. I wouldn't want her to hurt herself. Hazel can be rather harsh at times. Hufumi smiles fondly, still stirring the soup in the pot. But she's rather young as far as sex demons go. I'm sure she will grow out of it in a due course under Maria's influence. From what I hear, Maria has done a wonderful job disciplining her already. She truly is a model big sister. I don't know about that. I cast my mind back to a couple of months prior when I first escaped the Succubus realm. Elio and Hufumi arranged a party to celebrate our newfound freedom, but Maria and Hazel were AWOL for the majority of it. I thought this quite mysterious, until I began to hear peculiar noises emanating through the walls of my bedroom. When Hazel finally emerged, she was trembling, her eyes tearful. She was largely unresponsive for the rest of the night and sat in the corner with her arms around her legs. She looked she'd seen things. I thought it was impolite to inquire as to the precise details of said things, but my imagination's good enough that I can make an estimated guess. I've seen enough adult videos, and judging by Maria's creativity, she has too. I think this should be almost done, Hufumi says. Hufumi greets voice interrupts my musing. She smiles, her glasses steamed up from the miso soup, and says, would you like to try some? I'd very much appreciate your feedback. I'm no top chef, so I doubt I could be much use, but sure, I'll try a bite. Thanks, Hufumi. It is no trouble. Drink up. There's plenty more where it came from. Hufumi holds a spoon to my lips, laden with miso soup. There's a chunk of tofu sitting atop the spoon alongside a few curious of green onion. From close quarters, the smell is even more tantalizing than it was before. I'm already starting to salivate. I dip my head, then take the spoon into my mouth. It's delicious, but I expected nothing less. Hufumi's miso soup is mild, but it's not bland. It's seasoned to perfection, just the way I like it. And the green onions give it a nice, subdued crunch. What do you think? Do you like it, darling? A mini toast compliment like that would be doing your cooking a disservice. I don't just like it, I love it. Hufumi, I am very glad to hear it. Hufumi smiles brightly. I find cooking relaxing and have enjoyed it for many years. I like to think I am somewhat competent at it, after much trial and error. But I do not wish to grow complacent. One can always improve. The moment one forgets this, the skills begin to decline. It is the same with Kuta and even with acting. I have been studying your eating habits closely and have been striving to make food suited to your taste buds. I'm gratified my hard work has paid off. It has. I don't think you've ever said to me anything that tasted bad. This is even better than my mother's cooking. My, that is a lofty compliment. I am flattered. Although perhaps you should not tell your mother this. I would not wish to compete with her, not if she is to be my mother-in-law one day. It's pretty bold of you. I nudged Hufumi in the side playfully. Are you that dead set on being my wife? I've never been more determined about anything. I may be an actress, but my feelings about you are wholesome, sincere. I will not be content until I'm walking down that aisle to greet you, dressed in white. For such a mild-mannered woman, who for me looks awfully fired up. I swear I can see the fire blazing in her violet eyes. Do you think your parents would approve of me, Hunaka? They might balk at the idea of my being 7 years older than you. I would not wish to cause a rift between you and my family. It's fine. I'm not super close to my family, though I do visit them from time to time. They've been nagging me to settle down with a nice girl the last few years, my mom in particular. They'd be over the moon if they knew you shown such an interest in me. You're as nice as they come, and since you're older, you'll be able to keep me on the straight and narrow. My mom thinks I need somebody to whip me into shape, somebody like her. I smile while scratching my cheek with one hand. I told my mom a couple months back I was in a relationship, mostly to get her off my back, but I was vague with the specifics. She seemed disbelieving enough that I found one girlfriend, let alone 6. If she knew on top of that the framed idol Yumioto Hifumi was included in my harem, she would never shut up about it. Even my dad would be excited to hear that. He's been a fan of Hifumi for a while, and he owns every single one of her movies. I'm afraid discussion might perturb Hifumi, and it's only annoying my mother. She's kind of possessive. Man, thinking about this is giving me a headache. Why, Hunako? Have I done something to upset you? Nah, it's not your fault. My mom's been clamoring to meet you is all. But I haven't been upfront about how famous you really are. I wanted to keep all this Succubus stuff under wraps. It's kind of unbelievable. But she'll have to know the truth eventually. I don't want to hide you from my parents. Not if you're serious about this. I like them to meet you. But then I feel obligated to introduce them to the others, and now it would be hard to explain. I understand entirely. That's why I have not pursued you upon the matter. I trust you would do what you think is right, Hunako, no, to further our relationship. Though if you need any help explaining matters to your parents, you can rely on me. I am Yui's advisor, and I like to think I have some diplomatic skills. At the very least, I am less abrasive than some of my sisters. Hifumi laughs, as do I. Abrasive is a pretty good way to sum up the likes of Aria and Maria, and maybe Yui too. They have very strong personalities. Well, we don't need to worry about it for the present. We came here to enjoy ourselves, not feat about the future. I apologize if I cast a paw upon things, my dear Hunako. It's not a problem. I have to think about the logistics of this sooner or later. One guy can't just date 6 beautiful women and expect the whole world to be okay with it. My parents might need some talking around, but you're so mature and motherly, I know they'll take to you at once. With Uri, it might be a different matter. What about me? Ilya marches into the room, hands on her hips, her hair is tied back into her 2 signature twin tails, and although it's early in the morning, upon her face, she's already wearing her signature scowl, aka she's pissed the fuck off. She needs to get laid. I guess Uri wouldn't be Uri if she wasn't a bit pissy. But I do wish she could chill every once in a while. Are you whispering behind my back? That's not very ladylike of you, Hifumi. I'm disappointed. Yes, you're right. I apologize. Hunako and I were only speaking of his parents and how they might react upon meeting us. It's quite a heavy topic of conversation. Drawing upon it will only spoil the food I have made, so please erase it from your mind. Did someone mention food? Hazel, next to the end of the room, a wide smile on her face. She's wearing not her jogging gear, but her casual attire, and her hair and skin look damp. I guess she must have had a shower after her run. That was awfully fast. I'm starving, Hifumi, and your food smells great. I need to get some carbs into my belly after all that exercise. Is it almost done? I'm just about finished with the miso soup, and it looks like the rice is also ready. I prepared some pickles last night which we can eat with our food, and there's fried mackerel too. Oh right, mackerel, that sounds like quite a feast. But of course breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'd be a poor excuse of an older sister if I could not satisfy all of your appetites. Yeah, I'm honest too, guys. I don't eat breakfast that much. Even in high school, in college, I never ate breakfast. I mean, the only time I eat breakfast anymore right now is when is when me and my family, when we leave the house super early and we stop at Bojangles or Waffle House. Vibrator, what about you? Do you eat breakfast at all, or do you skip it? I know personally when I do have breakfast in the mornings though, I usually have a nice good waffle, about 2 or 3 waffles and lots of bacon when I eat breakfast at home. I don't want anybody going hungry. You're such a goody-goody. Yuri pulls a face. Please excuse me while I vomit. Oh my, are you alright, Uri? If you feel ill, I could get you a glass of water. Thanks for your concern, but I think I'll be fine. Just a turn of phrase. You sure you don't look, you do look kind of pale. If you got a vom, you could do it in the bathroom. I don't want you putting me off my food. Please, it's not like I'm going to throw up literally. Idiots don't do that. Idols don't do that. They don't? No, it'd be totally off-brand. My fans hate me for it. But throwing up is a normal bodily function, even for a succubus. Don't you fans know that? Next you'll be telling me they expect you to never pass gas or use the bathroom or enough. Yuri yanks on Hazel's ponytail so hard she squeals. Why are you talking about my bodily functions? It's way too early for that. So you'd be alright chatting about it in the afternoon? Of course not. Yuri's face burns red and her cheeks puff out like a particular freighted hamster. As if I tell you what I do in the bathroom, I'd rather die first. No, I'd rather you die. Please don't tell me you're into that kind of thing. What thing are you talking about? I have no idea. You know, I'm talking about dirty stuff like, monogamous is, that's pretty dirty. What? No. Yuri growls at Cosmos, who's only just entered the kitchen, still barely eyed. In case she just woke up. What even is that? It's a type of bacteria commonly found in the mouth and the blood. Oh my. Hufume looks mildly embarrassed, but Yuri's face is even hotter than a furnace. I bet you could cook a KBBQ on her cheeks. How did you know about that? I was looking up cosplay ideas the other day, and you decided you were going to cosplay as a sexy bacteria? Why not? It would be interesting. Other girls cosplay sexy boats or sexy king. That is true, I guess, but why bacteria? I like bacteria. They're cute. Like hell they are, you weirdo. Yuri snorts and takes a seat at the table. Are you gonna plate up the food, Hufume? I'd like to eat sometime during the century. But don't give me too much rice. I need to watch my figure. Okay, again, I'm gonna say this. Anyway, she, the redhead, is a fucking bitch. If you're worried about your weight, you could always come jogging with me, Hazel says. And try to keep pace with you? No thanks. You're built like an Amazon. And I'm meant to be cute, delicate idol. Besides, you're too annoying to spend more than 5 minutes with. Am I annoying? You're very annoying. If you're worried about your weight and you don't want to exercise, you could swallow a tapeworm instead. They absorb nutrients from your gut so you can eat a lot but keep slender. They're very useful. And they're cute too. What is with you in finding weird things cute? You must have worms in the brain. Insane in the... Wait, worms in the brain? Does that mean she has Earthworm Jim in her brain? Earthworm Jim! Cruising through the universe, having lots of fun. Sorry, I remember the cartoon show of Earthworm Jim. Now that I'm gonna want to watch that now. Yay! Who has worms? Rhea is the last to enter the living room. She's wearing her white sundress and her hair looks neat and silky. She casts an eye about the room, taking us in, then rests her gaze upon Yuri. Grinning, she says, "Do you have worms, Ariel?" No, I do not have worms. Alright, everyone, let's settle down. Yuri is right. We shouldn't discuss such matters now. You can resume your conversation about worms later. It does seem very interesting, but for the present, I would appreciate if we could eat breakfast. Hifumi plates up the food and brings it to the table, and soon begin to eat. This is so good. As Moses shovels rice into her mouth with her chopsticks, her face flushed with pleasure. It is delicious. I'm in heaven. You could try to eat a bit more cleanly. You got food stuck to your cheeks. Let me. Yuri picks up her napkin and then reaches across the table to clean Cosmos' face. Cosmos doesn't squirm away from Yuri's affection. She sits promptly, her chopsticks aloft as Yuri wipes and occasionally tuts. There, much better. You look almost presentable now, where, if it not be a questionable fashion sense. I still don't understand the appeal of those ears. They make you look inferior, but your stage costume is way inferior and more childish than anything I wear. Ha! No, it isn't. My stage clothes exist to activate my beauty. They are unparalleled. Now, this argument sounds pretty familiar. I've heard it before at the train station when the pair of us were leaving Rukia. These two always argue. But I think they must care for one another. If they didn't, Yuri wouldn't fuss over Cosmos as she does, and Cosmos wouldn't insist upon her being friends. It's a shame Yuri's too picky to admit she might like anybody. While you and Cosmo bicker, Hufumi turns to me and poses a question. Would you care to go for a walk with me later? It's a beautiful day, and I thought I might like to see more of the beach, or maybe the cliffs. I think it would be nice to stretch my legs. And it would be nicer to still if you joined me, Hunako. That's what you want, then sure, I don't mind tagging along. It'd be my pleasure. Wonderful. Hufumi beams. We could bring a picnic, too, if you like. You certainly seem to be enjoying my cooking, and I'm very much enjoying cooking for you. There is some leftover rice from breakfast, so I can make rice balls. Maybe rolled up egg omelets? That's all pretty classic picnic fare, yeah. It's the sort of stuff my mother used to put in my lunchbox at school. Now I feel kinda nostalgic. Can you do ginger chicken or hamburger steak? I can make almost anything. The fridge is stocked full of ingredients, and it would be a shame to waste them. Tell me your requests if you have them, and I shall turn them into reality. That's so cool. You kinda sound like a mage, hee. I am a Succubus. I do know one or two spells. But when it comes to cooking, I prefer to use my own two hands. No cheating. The only magic I need is my love for Hunako. Wah, spoken like a true housewife. Your devotion is so bright and glitty my eyes are starting to tear up. I love a cute waifu to cook for me. I'm tempted to invite myself along on your little picnic. But I heard Hunako to myself a bunch the other day. I wouldn't want to cramp your style, and I still want to get some more jogging done, hee. Do you mind saving me some of your ginger chicken, though? Of course. I wouldn't mind. I can make extra chicken if you want some. It would be my pleasure. Nothing makes me happier than feeding others. Oh, right. Hazel punches her fist in the air, celebrating while Yuri pretends to gag. You're way too nice, Hufumi. You're giving me a sugar overdose here. Oh dear, I did not think my miso soup was particularly sweet, but perhaps I made a mistake. I think your food is delicious, Hufumi. Pay Yuri no need. She's just jealous because you can play Hunako with food and she cannot. I've heard rumors about your culinary skills or lack of, and it's truly tragic. She even burns cereal. Okay, wait, how the fuck do you burn cereal? Really? Is that true? That was only one time. It was just a mistake. That's one hell of a mistake. How do you even do that? Yeah, I even think... okay, I want somebody to answer this for me in the comments, either while the stream is live or when it's over. How the fuck do you burn cereal? I don't know. It's not my fault. It's my maid's for taking the day off work. I don't need to cook and clean because she does it all for me. I'm too famous to fuss about making my own food. Again, this is why I don't like the redhead. I would like to see her get ran over by a reindeer. Yuri turns her nose up in the air, arms crossed, when Rio smirks. How hopeless are you, dear Yuri? I am very busy myself, but even I know the basics. You really don't have nothing to offer save your foul temper. Now I think I will join Hufumi and Nook on the rock. I have no desire to stay here and babysit you squabbling children. Is that alright, Hufumi? I do not mind at all, but what about you, Hunako? Do you have any objections? Of course not. I like spending time with all of you. But of course you do. I am irresistible after all. Foo. And so is my food. Perhaps I'll make some cute apple bunnies too, and maybe some cookies. I'll love to feed them to you, Hunako, perhaps while you're laying on my lap. Nothing would make me happier than that. Hee. I'm afraid I'm going to enjoy this picnic. It takes about an hour, but Hufumi, Marie, and I finally crest the summit of this hill. From our vantage point, the rest of the beach is sprawled beneath us like a patchwork, all gold and sand and UCC. The hike was a challenging one, but the view more than makes up for it, as is Hufumi's cooking. You burn it by tossing it in a fire. Good one, vibrator. Burn, baby, burn. Here you are, dear. Say hi. Hufumi offers me a piece of rolled egg omelet pinched between her chopsticks. I oblige, my eyes falling shut, and Hufumi pops the piece of omelet into my mouth. I chew on it, savoring its soft fluffy texture. It feels like biting into clouds. I'm left with somewhat a sweet aftertaste when I swallow it. It's moist, and I'm already craving more of Fufume's cooking. She makes cooking look so easy, but I know a lot of effort goes into every single one of her dishes. She's incredibly thorough, and she made all of this for my sake. The picnic spread is laid out on a twin blanket we brought with us. Fufume really put out all the stops, and it shows. There's a box of array of different dishes, all of them staples for any lunchbox. In addition to the rolled egg omelets, Fufume also made rice balls, the ginger chicken, and hamburger steak. I requested octopus wieners. What the fuck is an octopus wieners? Somebody, if you follow me on Twitter, Discord, or anything, somebody send me a picture of octopus wieners, please, because I would love to know. What the fuck is an octopus wieners? Salted eggplant and all sorts of other side dishes. I doubt I'll be able to eat all this, but it's so good I'm tempted to try. Do you like it, do you? I love it. Goodness, you're so complimentary. I really do appreciate it. Fufume giggles squally while cupping her cheek with one hand. Alas, I'm only too aware of my shortcomings. The egg omelets are not perfectly even, and used a bit too much oil. I will have to be more careful next time. You mean you can make food that tastes even better than this? I can hardly credit it. Her cooking's so good already. If it leveled up even more, I run the risk of turning into a real glutton. I can't stuff myself with Fufume's cooking all day. Maybe I should take up jogging with Hazel. It's hell to wake up so early, but it might be necessary if I don't want to pack on the pounds. Is there anything you'd like to sample next? Perhaps the hamburger steak? I've been eyeing that up for a while. Yeah, you know me too well. I only know you as well as any wife should know her husband. Fufume picks up the mini steak, defining the chopsticks with the fluid motion of one play's competitive couture, and then offers it to me. I pick the stick from the chopsticks like a bird might, while Maria watches. You fawn over Huniko too much, Fufume. You're spoiling him. Perhaps I am, but how can I help it? When I love somebody, I only want to make them happy. There's nothing more important to me than Huniko's happiness. That's very sweet. But did you ever stop to consider that it because of your pampering you turned out so selfish? Oh no. Fufume sits her chopsticks down and frowns. That did not occur to me, nor did I realize. But perhaps there is a grain of truth in what you say. Yuri is my cousin, and I care for her deeply. I was so relieved when she agreed to ascend the throne in my place. I was perhaps too falling in our subsequent interactions. I wish to become a trusted advisor she could rely on, more akin to a big sister than an official figure. But I fear I was too lax with her. I let her get away with many pretty cruelties, which slowly began to escalate. It's alright, Fufume, you can be a bit difficult, but she's not all bad, Yuri. She's not as preserved as she used to be. She's mellowed out a lot. Vibrator. Okay, so Vibrator, thank you for sending the picture. Let's see if Twitter actually shows up. There we go. Alright, so it is loading. We're going to see what this shit is. I'm either going to be holified or... Oh, okay, so that's what it is. Huh. It looks like it's a fucking hot dog that just got cut out to look like an octopus. I actually thought it was going to be something way fucking worse, to be honest. I thought it was going to be like you were going to see an octopus. It was going to be a full octopus and it had its dick out. Thank you for consoling me, Huniko. It's very kind of you, though. If you were to hold a grudge, I understand. If I had done a better job of Yuri's mentor, I doubt she would have subjected you to the torments that you did. I'm responsible for all that occurred in the Succubus realm, however, indirectly, and I have felt some degree of guilt about it. Perhaps that is why I'm so determined to pamper you. I have been overcompensating and I never realized it. My affection is not stiffing, is it? Hey, it's fine, don't worry. Nah, it's fine. If it was an issue, I'd say so myself, so don't fret. I don't like playing mind games with people. I'd never keep you guessing. Thank you. I was honestly prepared to send my eyes on the fire searching that shit up. And this is why Vibrator is my second command, because he will put up with the shit he has to do. Thank you, that means a lot to me, Huniko. Truly it does. Then I shall continue to fawn over you if you do not mind. That is simply how I am. Hufame shifts closer to me, then presses her chest against my arm. I wish we could always stay like this. I don't. I like keeping busy, and I know if I took too long a break, I'd begin to tire of it. I may not be Discovery's princess, but in my own domain, I am in charge. All my employees obey me, and they quiver before me. There's nothing more amusing than that. Issuing orders is gratifying as it is having them fulfilled. But one's life cannot be nothing but work. We all need distractions, else we would go mad. You are a very fine distraction indeed, darling. Haha! Yes, the two that I actually think are the hottest in the game, and the two that I would want to hook up with, yes, are kissing the main character. I've done my job. Muru shifts against my side and her fingers linking through mine, while Hufame nestling against my opposing arm. The pair of them lean in close, sandwiching me between the delicious warmth of their bodies. The breeze stirs their hair, so it brushes against my cheeks. I can smell their shampoo when I inhale. The taste of Hufame's delicious homemade food lingers on my tongue while my other senses are completely enraptured by these two gorgeous women. I really am lucky. Hufame's food is good, but my dear Hunako, Maria smiles wickedly. You're good enough to eat. Maria presses a kiss against my cheek, as does Hufame. The lips are soft and the full chest are pushed up against my arm. I've ascended. This must be what paradise feels like. I've endured various trials and tribulations thanks to these women, but I am glad they came into my life regardless. I wouldn't want to be without them. Maria draws back, her voice throating and murmurs into my ear. Now I'm starting to get hungry. Me too. I can't hold back much longer. I love you, Hunako, and I want to pamper you much, much more than I have already. As your future wife, that is my duty. I'm going to fill you up with my love until you cannot take another bite. Well, looks like we got the threesome after all. Woohoo! I spent the rest of the evening recuperating after the religious workout Maria and Hufame gave me. I eat the dinner Hufame prepared, which is delicious, as always, and while away my hours on the couch watching TV. Hufame and Cosmos are sitting with me. There's some documentary about samurai that Hufame seems pretty particularly fascinated with, though I'm not really watching. I'm too tired to pay much attention, particularly to the ongoings in the 17th century. Cosmos surprise seems pretty into the documentary, but I think she's more amused by the historical reenactments and the highly exaggerated speech adapted by the actors in their heavy samurai outfit than intrigued by the dates and facts. She's certainly giggling more than a TV program of this sort deserves. Does she think this is supposed to be some kind of comedy? Hazel went for another jog, and Muri's answering some work emails in her room. As for Yuri, I'm not sure where she is. She's sort of not off at the dinner. Maybe to practice her dim steps in her studio for an upcoming tour? I yawned, pressing one hand on my mouth. It's not 10 yet, but I feel pretty tired. I'm thinking about hitting the hay already when... Hey, Hunako. Yuri appears in the doorway in a fluffy orange twin tails and a flapper for pastel pink skirts. Now that's a coincidence. I was just thinking about her. Hey, Yuri. Do you want something? Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. It's a nice quiet evening, and as the sun will soon be setting, I was wondering... Oh... Cosmo tears her eyes away from the TV screen when Monsieur is about to ambush number and stares at me. Ah, that's right, the sun will be setting soon. And? He scarfs both hands planted firmly on her hips. What's it to you? I was waiting for the sunset so I could go and take a few photos. The sunset is very beautiful, particularly over the shoreline, and it would look good on my rapid pound feed, especially if I took a few wide angles or maybe applied a filter. I could take some artistic photos of the sky and the cliffs and the ocean, and I could take some shots of myself in a bikini too. I would make a whole album of them called A Summertime Date with Cute Cosmos. Although, of course, you're the only person I really want to go on a date with, Hunako. Hizuri shows me, winding me through one arm. It's with an eyes that she peers at me, pressing her chest up against my side as she says, "Would you mind going for a walk with me? I'm sure I'd be able to take even better photos if I could hold if you can hold my phone for me. You want me to help you with your Rapid Pound account? Kinda. If you wouldn't mind." Cosmos blinks winsomely, her eyelashes trembling. Is that no good? Don't you want to help? It is kind of weird taking lewd photos of my girlfriend so she can upload them to the internet. But I guess it's fine if I'm the only one who can touch you. Twisting through it may sounded actually quite the appealing idea. Cosmos thousands upon thousands of fans will go up on her in a cute cat-made bikini. were fantasizing about scrolling through the sunset beach with her. But in actuality, I'm the only one who will ever be able to do such a thing. I'll be one-upping all these guys from the shadows. And they'll never know, because I'm from the Shadow Realm. Because I got sent there by Yugimoto. Goodness me, are you alright, Hunako? You have quite the strange expression upon your face. Huh, I do? Yes, indeed, like a Normas. For a moment, you look like almost demonic. Sorry about that. I was just fantasizing about something. It must have been quite the fantasy to promote such an extreme reaction from you. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm awakening to a new scheming side I never knew I possessed. Really? That is exciting. Ufume giggles. I certainly wouldn't mind being taken advantage of by you. You're so shameless, Ufume. Only when Hunako is involved. I feel who brings it out of me. You had fun with Hunako already. You went on a walk with him, you and Maria. Cosmo squeezed my arm between hers and her butterscotch eyes flexed upon. I want to have some fun with Hunako now. Can we go for a walk? Can we please? Sure thing, I'll love to, Cosmo. Yay, thank you. And will you help me take my photos? It would be my pleasure. Yippee, you're the best. Cosmo covers me in affectionate kisses while Yui scowls. What about me? I wanted to go for a walk with you too. Sorry, you, but I'm otherwise engaged right now. I got a bunch of photos to take. We can go for a walk later, okay? No, it's not okay. Yui scowls and kicks at the couch with her heel, which makes Ufume tut. This is so unfair. It's like you're ignoring me on purpose. You're such a jerk. Well, see if I care. I don't even really want you to go on a walk with you. You don't deserve my attention. You bowl of moldy white rice that's been left in the cooker for over a month. A month? Ufume winches to hear such a detailed slime, one hand pressed to her mouth. That would never do. While rice may taste better if it's left overnight, leaving it for a whole month in the cooker, no less, is unthinkable. I cannot condone such a thing. Yeah, well, maybe Hunako should have thought about that before he decided to blow me off. I don't see how these things are related. You wouldn't. You're too stupid to comprehend anything unless it's staring you right in the face. So saying, Yuri walks off. She doesn't look at all happy. But I don't have time to fuss over her and her menacing moods. I agree to go out with Cosmos, and that's precisely what I do. I'm not the sort of guy who goes back on my word. Time to take sexy pictures. Woohoo! Meow! I'm sure I just scared everybody on the planet. Wow, the beach looks so pretty. Wow, damn, we've been streaming for 2 hours and 25 minutes. Shit, and this ain't even Ghost of Tsushima or Kingdom Hearts or Devil May Cry. I'm sure my fans will love these photos. Hee. Cosmos and I promenade along the sunset beach, her little ahead of me. She has her phone gaps in one hand, which she points at the rolling and orange surf and the sway palm trees. Cosmos' face is lit up with girlish excitement and her eyes are wide. She looks so enthused. I wouldn't be surprised if the flux ears on the top of her head start to twitch. Right now she really does remind me of a small, curious animal. And that's nostalgic. The comprehension takes me back to our very first date. Cosmos asked me to walk her on a leash in the street. That was a pretty wild thing to do, although it's not the most blazing thing I've done with this girl. Our first encounter prior to our first date was on a busy Tokyo train. I was commuting to work, minding my own business, when a very attractive girl in a pair of very short shorts pressed herself against me, and, well, the rest is history. I didn't thought her behavior might be. Kima is sweet-natured, and among her scrubby sisters, she's the most hung up about being my girlfriend. In that sense, she's pretty traditional. Though the stuff she comes out with can be on the zany side. She's not doing anything too strange right now, though. She's just taking a bunch of snapshots as any holiday maker would do. Do you want to take some photos too, Hunako? It's a shame not to. We need to preserve these memories forever. That's a sweet sentiment, but it's fine. If I ever want to look back at this vacation, I can take a look through your photos. But you work as a photographer, Hunako. Cosmo tilts her head. Asa, don't you like taking photos? I did, once upon a time, but hobbies lose their appeal when you turn them into a day job. I was passionate about taking photos once upon a time, but now it reminds me of my work, and my boss. I don't want to think about him when I'm with you. Oh, I see. Cosmos pouts. That's a shame. If I ever got tired of taking photos, I'd really be sad. I find it a lot of fun. I'm glad you find it fun. Don't stop on my account. Take as many pictures as you want. I was going to, but... Cosmo looks back at me curiously. If you don't find photography fun anymore, What do you do as a hobby? Haven't had much time for hobbies since I started working for the Sakura Daily. My boss is a slave driver and I'm his bitch. I don't know if I got any pastimes I care about. You have your photography. And Hazel's always exercising, Hufumi cooks and plays kucha. But as far as for me, I think I'm happiest when I can spend time with all of you. Really? Cosmo's eyes light up. You mean that? Yeah, you always cheer me up. If I had to pick a hobby, I guess that'd be it. Or making you happy. That sounds too... And there goes my Coke. Thank goodness, I don't think I... Oh, good, nothing fell out. Yay! Thank goodness the lid was on there tight. That sounds too shellfish to be a hobby. You need to enjoy yourself more. Or maybe making you happy. That sounds... Okay, we just read that shit. But I am enjoying myself. I had loads of fun. You don't need to worry on that score. I hope not. It's fine, Cosmosis. I chose the distance between us with a few strays and then ruffled the top of her head. I do this pretty fingerly with her. I know Maria and Yui wouldn't like it. They feel demeaned, and Hazel and Hufumi ain't the kind of girls who kindermothers out of pet heads, but Cosmos appreciates it. She's always sighs and leans into my hand when I stroke her, once more like a fluffy animal. It's normal for people to fall in and out of love with their hobbies. They find new interests and move on with their lives. But I'll never lose interest in you. You feel the whole photography left behind and more besides. There's never a dull moment when I'm with you or your sisters. There's always something fun to do. I'm not sad, Kay. Kay. Cosmos replies after a pause with a nod of her head. I'm glad you're happy, but maybe we should find you a new hobby. Maybe we should take up a musical instrument. I did play guitar a little back in high school. Really? That's so cool. Not really. I only learned a few notes. It might be fun to pick it back up again, though. You should. I'll support you. I'll be your #1 fan. Really? Thanks, Cosmos. I'll be sure to send you my first mixtape then. I'd love that, but there's something else I'd like too. I've taken a lot of photos on the beach from my Rapid Pound account, but I was wondering. Cosmo digs the tip of her sneaker into the sand uncharacteristically cold. Can we take a few photos together? Of course, just don't go uploading them to social media and we should all be good. I wouldn't. I want to keep you all to myself. You belong to me. Cosmo bounds towards me, her phone in hand. She looks very enthusiastic about the prospect of a couple of photo shoots. Now say cheese. In fact, she's a bit too interested. In her haste, she tips over, her feet goes tumbling to the ground. Owie! Cosmo sits sprawled in the sand and her legs spread in the gate. Her phone lines up in the sand beside her, downturned with a bit of luck. The sand cushioned the worst of the blow. Hope it's not broken. I know how much Cosmo loves her phone. I'm a bit more worried about Cosmos herself right now, though. Are you okay? I think I'm fine. Cosmos retrieves her phone, then examines it. She swipes the touchscreen, turns it on, sighs in relief, and her phone responds accordingly. My phone still looks good, but my ankle feels kind of funny. Did you twist it? Maybe. Cosmo tries to stand, but this accomplishes nothing other than a second pain squeak. She stumbles back down on the sand, still clutching her phone like a talisman. Her face is red and her chest is heavy. I think she might be in worse shape than she's letting on. We'll have to postpone our photo shoot for the present. Cosmos' welfare is vastly more important. I don't think you should be standing. You put too much pressure on your leg. Let me help you. How are you going to do that exactly? I can carry you back to Aria's beach house, then I can get Hufumi to take a look at you. She seems pretty relatable. She should be able to tell if you sustained any serious damage, but that would put you out, Hunako. I don't want it to be a burden. It's no burden at all. I'm your boyfriend. Carrying you when you're hurt is all part of the job description. But I'll be too heavy. Who said you were heavy? Yui did. She said I ate too many sweets and I don't leave the house enough. She warned me if I don't watch out I'll get squishy. I don't think you're squishy. Aria only said that because she's jealous you have more fans than her. But Hazel said I need to exercise more. Hazel thinks everybody needs to exercise more. She's a total health nut. Now let me. Aw, that's a sweet picture. I bend down, then gather Cosmos up in my arms. She's not filter late, but she's not particularly heavy either. I can straighten up without too much of a struggle. I don't think I'll be able to support her for hours on end, but the brisk 5-minute walk across the beach to Yui's house should be more than manageable. There we go. That wasn't too hard. Are you sure? Cosmos surveys me slyly, her dark eyelashes trembling. I'm not putting any strain on you, am I? Yeah, because you'd be my... I like her. Seems like the only one I don't like is Hazel and Ariel. It's fine. I can scarcely even feel you. That's a lie, but Cosmos doesn't need to know the full truth. She's insecure enough as she is, surprisingly enough given her career choice. Think a girl that makes a living selling scholarly-clad photos of herself would be more confident about her body, but apparently not. By the way, I mentioned it a few days ago that OnlyFans was going to get rid of the porn and everything, but after the backlash, they decided not to get rid of the sex and shit. So I do kind of find that funny. She has several hang-ups of her own, but that doesn't make me love her any less. In fact, her vulnerability side only makes me care for her all the more. So, this is okay? It's more than okay. I like looking after you. It's my hobby, remember? I'm looking at better at this than music or writing, at least. You are very cool, yes. Hee hee. Cosmos giggles her praise and rests her head up against my chest. The wind stirs her hair so it blushes my cheek, and a whiff of her fruity shampoo goes up my nostrils. I can feel her body heat, not to mention the softness of her skin beneath her clothes. I guess it's a pretty intimate pose. If it's okay, then I guess I can take advantage of your kindness. Thank you, Huniko. When you hold me like this, it makes me feel like a princess. You are a princess. You're my princess. Wah. Cosmo's face burns red. When you say stuff like that, my heart starts beating so fast, and my face feels so hot. You're so nice to me. I'm not sure if I deserve it. Yui treats me and teases me, and Maria scolds me, but you're so understanding. Cosmo smiles at me, and it's a very soft, gentle smile, warm even more than the sun as it shakes beneath the horizon. You're the best boyfriend in all the world. Will the game ever end? It just goes on and on, my friends. Might catch this Pokemon real quick. I think my Pokemon Go is in the description, guys, so if you want to join that. It's late at night and I caught up beneath my covers, all warm and toasty. You know, that's the one thing that sucks when you're in your bed and you're wafted up like a fresh cinnamon roll, and then your alarm goes off to wake you the fuck up. I feel exhausted after the events of the last few days, and sleep is fast beginning to encroach upon me. I turn over yawning and bury my cheek against my pillow. It's so nice and soft, a little like Hufume's thighs. This thought brings a half-asleep smile to my lips. I spent a lot of time over the last few days with my harem of girls. We played together on the beach, set off fireworks, and I devoured a lot of Hufume's homemade cooking. Does life get any better than this? I feel like I'm living a dream. Ah. Another yawn escapes from my lips. I'm just about ready to drift off when... So Huniko, do you care to explain yourself? What's the big idea? What? I bolt up, my eyes wide as loud noises splits the silence. That doesn't sound like my door being pulled open with no small amount of strength or anything approaching subtly. What's going on? I look wildly about my darkened bedroom, searching for the culprit behind all this. Ah, it's the bitch. That's pretty much what it is. It's the she-bitch. I'll worry about completing that challenge on Pokemon Go later. Don't sit there looking all wide-eyed and innocent. I'm not going to feel sorry for you. You know exactly what you've done or haven't done in this case. You bag a leaf mode, and it doesn't take me long to find them. Yuri's standing by the foot of my bed, making the looming. Is it hard to pick out her features in the dark? But I can tell she's scrawling. Her face makes that more than apparent. She does her posture. Her hands are planted firmly on her hips, in the manner of all scolding mothers. Not that Yuri's my mother, that'd be pretty weird. She's not even the motherly type. She's nothing like Kufume. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? I'm sure you have some excuse to give me, pitiful though they may be. I'm a very nice, patient person. Yeah, right, I agree with that statement. So I'll let you say your piece. That doesn't mean I'll have to believe it, though. I don't think I've ever been able to trust you again after you treated me so poorly. What? I hold a hand to my temple, which is throbbing and wincing. Yuri's shrine high-pitched voice feels like it's boring a hole into my skull. Surely it's too late at night to deal with this, she said. I don't get why Yuri forced her way into my room or why she sounds so pissed. But the fact remains she is pissed and was demonized. What's up, Ariel? Did something happen? Yes, something happened. Something has been happening throughout our vacation. I'm surprised you didn't notice it, you dummy. Blockhead moron. You might be right about some of those things, but please try to calm down. I don't even know why you're so angry. If you could just take a deep breath. Don't you dare talk down to me, Huniko. Now follow me. I have a bone to pick with you. Follow you? Wait, what? I tried to protest, but Yuri's fingers went around my wrist. She pulls me out of my bed upon my feet without ceremony, using more strength than it seems possible for her to possess. Yuri's so small and slender, it doesn't seem right she should be able to overpower me so completely. I twist and turn, but I can't get her to let go. I'm trapped. Ow! I wince as Yuri's nose digging into my skin. That's smart, damn it! Ow, ow, jeez. Would it kill you to be gentle, Yuri? I'm still half asleep, but I'm not dressed yet. If you want to have a talk, we can talk. But I'd like to put some clothes on first. I don't want you dragging me all around the house like this. Why should it matter? We all seen you naked before anyway, you playboy. It's too late to worry about your shame right now. She's not wrong about that, but hearing it doesn't make it feel a bit frustrated. Am I really a playboy? Guess I must have been given the scoop of my Harlem, but I've never really considered myself such. Damn, it's no wonder my coworkers all hate me. I know that, but I don't want to stress on myself half naked. Let me at least throw on some pants on these, please. I beg you, oh great and mighty Yuri, show some mercy upon me. I have no reason to be nice to you when you haven't been nice to me at all. Yuri lets her arms folded. But I suppose I can grant you this one favor. Hurry up and get dressed. When we're done, we're going to have a talk. Yes, ma'am. I wonder what time it is. It must be past midnight. It's pitch black outside, save for the twinkling stars. I just want to go back to bed, damn it. But I don't have Yuri. I don't think Yuri will allow that. She's incensed. Ha. I sigh as I select a shirt from my closet and then set my arms into the holes. What's going to happen to me now? I'm almost dreading to think. You're going to die. By Snoo Snoo. Approximately 10 minutes later. Well, this is nice, isn't it? Yuri doesn't say anything, which is funny given how chatty she was back in my room. She said no comments about yelling back then, but since she's heard me outside, she's unusually quiet. Alright, fine. So you can play that game. I first saw it myself while scanning the beach. The sky is dark blue and starts twinkling brightly above our heads. The ocean looks very dark, almost black. It's vast, almost famous, and it stretches out as far as the eye can see. It's so late, all the seabirds have retreated to the cliffside nest to roost. I can't hear the familiar cries, though I can hear the soft sigh of the ocean. The breeze that ceases in my cheek is lukewarm, not too hot, not too cold. It's a pleasant night, but the expression in Yuri's face is anything but. She's been sitting in silence for the past 5 minutes, her arms wound tightly about her legs, but her lips pursued in her front and her brows are peppered. She's an attractive woman. She's not Japan's top idol for nothing, but her good looks, as she scored somewhat by the obvious innovation when rose from her. Her squall is so fierce it could make milk go sour. If a legion of friends could see her like this, they'd be stunned. I wish I knew why she was so upset. It doesn't seem like she wants to speak up of her own accord, so maybe I should prompt her. Hey Yuri, I can tell something's bothering you, but I can't help if you won't tell me what it is. What happened? What happened? He asked. Yuri finally pipes up, her face a mask of evil. You have some nerve asking that, isn't it obvious? Just how dense can you be, dummy? Moron. Single-celled life form. That's such a weird, specifically insult, and it fits you to a T. You have the emotional awareness of an amoeba. In fact, I think you must be amoebas out there that have even more track than you. Sometimes I think I'd rather take a sea sponge as a lover than you. Damn, sure he does sound pissed. What does she want me to say? Just to make her happy so she doesn't kill me. Ouch, that's pretty harsh. I went a hand through my hair laughing. Must have upset you pretty bad, huh? You've done more than upset me. You humiliated me. Oh yeah, that sounds rough. I'm sorry if I've done anything to hurt you, but I must be stupid because I don't think what that might have been. Would you mind elaborating? It should be obvious, Hunako. So obvious that a huge nose on your stupid face. Hey! I press one hand on my nose, which is not huge. At least, I never thought that. Suddenly self-conscious. There's nothing wrong with my nose, is there? Your nose is the least of your problems. What you really ought to be worried about is about your ignorance, not to mention your thoughtfulness. I can't believe I had to spell this out for you, but I guess you're as dumb as you are endearing. You think I'm endearing. I wish I didn't, but I do. Everything you do annoys me, but I can't help but like you, which annoys me all the more. I've often wondered if I'd be happy if I could just forget you. But try though I might, I can't. I like you a lot, more than I've ever liked anybody, if you must know. And I want you to like me too, but this last week you've been ignoring me. You've been stayed in my holiday home, my private beach. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me, but you're not at all grateful. Where's this coming from? I am grateful for your kindness, very much so. I've been having a very good time. I know you have. I've been watching you. You've been swimming with Cosmos and picnicking with Hufume and Maria, but you've not put any time aside for me. I've been trying to get you alone from day one, but whenever I think I'm in with a chance of one of my sisters comes along and steers you away from me. I thought it was a coincidence at first, but it keeps happening. It's like you have actually trying to avoid me. I'm not trying to be jealous of the others. I didn't want to spoil your heart, but this is getting to be too much. I can't take anymore. You bruising deeply, her chest having her hesitates while her body quivers under the burden of her intense emotions. She looks so worked up, I think she might actually cry. Why do you keep going on for the others, Hunako? Do you like them more than me? Yes. I know I can be a brat, and sometimes I say mean things to you, but that doesn't mean I don't like you. Well, stop being a fucking bitch, and then maybe I might like you. There's your answer. I like you so much, but you act like a cold-hearted high school cheerleading bitch who thinks the world wraps around her finger. Then when she gets out of high school, goes to college, realizes it doesn't, gets kicked out of Virginia Tech, and then ends up marrying somebody she doesn't like and has 3 kids. I want us to spend some time together on this trip, like a real couple, but that's not happened, and I feel so frustrated, upset too. Are you avoiding me on purpose? I mean, is that unattractive? Well, you're good looking, but you have the personality of a bitch. I'm an idol, you idiot. I have thousands and thousands of fans. They all jump at the chance to go on a vacation with me, so why aren't you? Because they don't know the real you, bitch. Do you understand how lucky you are? I've done so much for you, so why? Annie sniffles, tears drying themselves from her eyelids and trickle down to her cheeks like condensation down a window pane. As she cries, a particular transformation takes place. Her clothes melt away to reveal her skin-tight latex outfit I'm immaturely familiar with. Horns sprout from her scalp and wings protrude from her shoulder blades. She's so upset she must have lost control of her magic. If you hate me, you should just come out and say it. Then I can stop hoping that you'll ever return my feelings. You made a fool out of me one too many times and I'm tired. I'm sick of being an Osran. Yui? My eyes soften with sympathy. My voice, already quiet, drops to even more low. He has a tendency to overreact, but I think she might be right about this. Though in it, I may have neglected her. I spent the last 4 days in the company of every other Succubus save Yui. She's been excluded almost entirely. Is there any wonder she would feel upset? I've caused her a lot of pain. And as a partner, I feel responsible to cheer her up. I wasn't avoiding you on purpose, and I certainly don't hate you. Speak for yourself, I hate the bitch. But that's no excuse for my negligence. I'm sorry if I made you feel unwanted. Good, you should be. I can't believe you made me cry. My tears are worth a lot, you know. They're worth even more than diamonds. Okay, we're not selling tear water. Fuck that, no. I'm sure they are. Every inch of you is priceless. Every hair on your head. You're not Japan's top artist for nothing. Yui puts out her cheeks hamster-like. Flattery would get you nowhere. I still haven't forgiven you. And maybe this will sway you. He's going in for a kiss. I cup Annie's deep cheeks with one hand and lean in. I hear the split second before my lips meet hers. Yui's breath hits in her chest. And then a soft sigh. Not the one I would want to kiss, damn it. I'm sorry. My mouth finds Yui's, our tongues clawing together. It's a deep, passionate kiss, filled with my desire to make amends and Yui's own desperation. The kiss is salty with Yui's tears, but I don't mind it. It's warm and loving despite that. Yuri, for all Paz is a total softie. When I kiss her like this, she falls into pieces. She's melting like a marshmallow over a campfire. Huniko. Yuri grabs my name against my mouth. All the whispers pampering with me kisses. I return her kisses, tripping her chin upwards with one hand. Yuri's hair twitches while we kiss, over and over. I wonder if that's a sign of her excitement. Her ragged breath and her flushed face silently all. Yuri's eyes are glassy when I pull away, like one who's awoken from a dream. She looks almost drunk on my reflection. Her cheeks still damp. She blinks to saw a few more tears from my eyelashes and I tut. That would never do. Something to dry your tears. I wouldn't want your makeup to run. I know how much effort to put your appearance. I don't want you ruining it for a guy like me. I'm not really worth it. Yes, you are. Yuri counted her lips peeled into a squirrel. In all Japan, no, all the world, there's no human as deserving of my affections as you. Don't be self-dependent. It's not an attractive quality, man, and it's insulting to me, too. I won't have you questioning my taste, but you always ask why you like me so much. That's different. I'm allowed, you're not. I won't let you slander yourself, it's not fair. Yuri stabs me in the chest with one finger to further punctuate her point while I laugh. Alright, I'll stop being so belittling. I wouldn't want to offend you. It's too late, you offend me all the time anyway. You didn't seem to mind when I kissed you, though. No, well, that, Any glimpses her face beat red. That's fine, I guess. Only fine? I raise an eyebrow, like the Rock. You smell what the pony's cooking? For something that was fine, you sure were singing a lot. You looked pretty into it. It's not like I wanted you to kiss me or anything. You say that, but your whole stickiness isn't very convincing coming on the tail end of a tearful confession. Don't think I've forgotten the things you said. It was quite illuminating. Yuri pouts. I can't believe I said all that. I must have sounded so desperate. Kind of, yeah, but don't mind it. It's an honor to be loved by such a pretty girl. What? Yuri's eyes run into comic proportions. Now you're just making assumptions. Whoever said I loved you? You did. Though not in quite so many words. I had to read between the lines. But don't worry, I won't reject you. I love you too. I literally never said that. At best, I like you a whole lot, maybe. But that's not the same as love. Don't get a swollen head. I don't lay awake at night thinking of you, and I certainly don't adore you. I adore you too. No, I never said... Yuri tries to counter, but I cut her off. More kissing the one no one wants. I lean in one more, tipping her chin and pressing her lips to hers in a passionate kiss. Kissing noises. Yuri protests muffled by my mouth soon turns into signs and moans. I kiss Yuri more forcefully this time, if such a thing is possible. I put her as close as possible for us to be. My fingers run through her hair, down her spine, to the small of her back. I want to kiss every single one of Yuri's tears away, and ally her worries. I might have neglected her in the past in my carelessness, but I won't make that mistake again. I care for her deeply, ridiculous though she can be, and I want her to know that. I will imprint my ferns onto every single inch of her bare skin. Then perhaps you'll finally be able to accept my heartfelt apology. My enduring love for Yuri's reflect the pair of us sit together on the starlit beach. Yuri's adorn has since faded alongside her Succubus attire. Now she's clad in the same casual clothes she's been wearing throughout this trip. A cut-off shoulder shirt and a pink skirt. Yuri snuggles close to me, then rests her head upon my shoulder. Her long hair tickles my cheeks, but I don't mind. The weight of her body against my own is a comfort, and her warmth bleeds through her clothes throughout to my own. I untie Yuri's hand in mine, which is laying by her side. She sighs It's a lovely night, don't you think? Sure is. The moon is especially beautiful. But it's even more so when we're together. Oh, you're such a charmer. A guilty nudge nudges me in the side with an elbow. Yuri's elbows are pretty pointy, much like her words, but she doesn't put enough force into the blow for it to hurt. It's been unusually gentle after her earlier meltdown. I'm glad I was able to console her. And it's nice to sit together like this, just the two of us. Hey, Huniko. Yeah? Something on your mind? It's nothing so important, really. I was just thinking, you in here staring herself, her eyes met bright, violently gesture beneath the milky moonlight. There's a pause, then. Do you know Do what? Is that supposed to do something kind of proposal? She doesn't want to get married, does she? I'd be flattered if that were the case, but it might cause a few problems with her career. Idols ain't supposed to get married. They're not even allowed to go on dates. She wants to walk down an aisle with me in a white dress. She better put her career on behind her. I don't know if Yuri likes me that much, but my musing, very quite unnecessary. Much like 80% of the stuff which circulates about inside my head. I love you. Yuri confesses, her voice soft as a whisper. I know I act like I don't, but that's all a front. I'm afraid of being weak, and I'm afraid of being vulnerable. I've been in the spotlight for too long. My so-called fans scrutinize me, the tabloids too, and TV talk shows. If I make a single mistake, they ought to descend upon me like vultures. I've had to learn how to be toothpaste to survive. If I let what people say get to me, I'll never be able to get out of bed in the mornings. I act like a cute bubbly air here on stage, but I've hardened my heart against criticism. For why I found myself impossible, to be honest. I've been playing a character for a long time, but it's different when I'm with you. I know you won't judge me unlike the others. You make me feel safe, so I can finally tell you how I really think and feel, both the bad parts and the good. I love you. So please don't leave me. I might be awkward and annoying, and maybe I can't change, but I'm working on it. I want to make you happy. Yuri, I smiled at her, then leaned a little closer, let my head rest atop her fingers, still intertwined and muttering into the stillness of the starry night. You don't need to worry about that. You do make me happy. I'm not going anywhere. You won't? Nah. But I'm nowhere near as affectionate as the others. Hufume's always cooking for you, Cosmos is super lovey-dovey, Maria and Hazel ain't all that self-conscious about expressing their feelings, but I am. I insult you when I don't mean to, or when you try to be affectionate, I pull away. I'm the worst. No, you're not. You're just a little awkward like you said, but I don't mind it. I haven't taken any of it to heart. I've always known how you feel about me. You're not as good as hiding it as you might think. Ugh. Yuri scowls. For some reason that's kind of annoying. It can be very annoying if I choose to be, but it is what it is. Your feelings for me are obvious, despite your constant proclamations to the contrary, so don't worry. I like you just as much as the others. You're all special to me, and I'm not going to let you go. You promise? I promise. Cross your heart and hope to die? Sure, cross my heart. Sure. I replied to a pause amused, but also touched by Yuri's clinginess. It's rare for her to be this honest about her feelings. It's kind of adorable. I mean, a sadistic part of me feels like teasing her, but the bigger part of me wants instead to respond to her sincerely in turn. I don't want to punish her for finally opening up to me. Cross my heart. I mean it, every word. I love you and I want to stay with you. Well, of course you do. That should go without saying. I am Japan's top idol. Who wouldn't want to bask in my love and affection? You're a pretty lucky guy, Hunaka. You should be counting your blessings. I already do, every single day. You don't have to worry Don't worry on that score. Yuri's face turns red, pounding. She glances away. I was trying to play it off, but you're even a cooler customer than I am. Your corps are way too good. You're going to give me a heart attack if this keeps up. Should I stop saying nice things then? No. You don't have to go that far. I like when you compliment me, although I know I don't often act like it. It's hard for me to admit my real feelings, but Yui draws it in a shallow breath. I'm trying to get better. I really am. Hope you can bear with me, Hunako. Sure, I'll always be there for you. If you need somebody to vent to, look no further. I'm trying to be as supportive as I can for the sake of your career and our relationship. Thank you. Yuri smiles, her violet eyes trembling with emotion. You might tease me from time to time, but I know you're really a great guy deep down. You're the best cameraman, no, the best boyfriend a girl could ever ask for. I really do love you. So saying, Yuri leans in and presses her mouth to my own. Her kiss is sweet and gentle in a direct contrast to her abusive behavior, and it's full of love. Her feelings are so plentiful I can taste them in her saliva on top of her tongue. She really does love me, and I think after all we endured together, I love her too. How could I not? Yuki Yuri is really adorable. Bullshit. The rest of my vacation passes in a blur of joyous activity. I go on shores along the beach with Marie, sample more of Hufume's delicious cooking, referee several Hazel's volleyball matches, splash in the salty silver Cosmo and go stargazing with Yuri. For I know it's the final day of my vacation arrives. It's with some sorrow that I pack away my clothes and check my room for anything I might have missed. It would be nice to stay a bit longer, but I can't shirk my duties forever. Work is waiting for me back in Tokyo. And my boss, I'm sure, will have any number of tasks to give me after my week spent away. I had a lot of fun, but now it's time to go. No good thing can last forever, but the memories I made here will last a lifetime. I take my suitcase in one hand and meet up with the others in the living room. They're clad in their usual casual attire, their swimsuits packed away in their own cases. Do you have everything here to go? Who of me fusses over me while I enter the living room, just as a mother might. Did you check every single drawer before you left? Did you remember to pack away your socks and your underwear? You should be particularly careful about your underwear. If you left a pair behind, you might claim it the next time she comes here. I know how crazy she is about you. She loves you and your underwear. I bet you cuddle I bet you cuddle and sniffing and do all sorts of things. Okay, she's gone crazy again. Not that I can judge her, I would do the same. There's nothing better than my boyfriend's sweaty boxes. What the fuck? Hey, don't pour your weird, creepy fetishes on me. You might have a thing for sniffing out undies, but I certainly do not. It's not like Kuniko's scent makes me feel hot or anything. Forgive me for my rudeness, but you're not very good at telling lies, Yuri. If she wasn't, she wouldn't be Yuri anymore. I suppose you are correct about that. Yuri's quite predictable. But that's what makes her so charming. What? Who are you calling predictable? Get off of me. Don't pat my head like that. We're not friends. Who make laugh while Maria sighs? It's awfully early for you to be shouting like that, Yuri. Ariel, can you knock it off? Oh, sorry, Maria. I suppose my euphemisy is too much for an old lady like you to handle, Hufu. How many times must I tell you I am not old? I'm still in the prime of my youth, ain't you, ingrate? You say that, but I think I can see her gray hairs already. Even if I do have gray hairs, which I don't, how would you be able to see them? My hair is white already. Oh dear, it's worse than I thought. You really are an old woman. Right, that does it. It might be early in the morning, but I'm not going to hold back. You deserve a good smack, young lady. No, please don't. Anything but that. Anna bolts away from where her twin tears stream behind her. She dives behind the couch where moves Suzo, like a shepherd after a startled sheep. Who may watches her and an amusing smile about her lips. Putting that one aside, did you remember to pack your toothbrush, Unico? Your aftershave. What about your wallet and your phone? Who continues to fuss over me while I'm assured her that yes, I do have everything. Once Maria and her have tired themselves off, the six of us sit down to eat breakfast. Breakfast consumed and although enjoyed, we leave Yui's beach house. This will be the last time I see this place. For a while, anyway. I wonder if we'll ever come back. I wouldn't be opposed to spending another summer here relaxing in this beautiful, unsullied beach or paddling in a Eastern Ocean. Right now, it's all coming to a close. I give Yui's beach house one last lingering look, then set off down the beach, soles of my shoes into the uneven sand, and the wheels of my suitcase get stuck. It's hard work pouring it along. The sun is so hot and I'm starting to sweat. The salty sea breeze touches my hair and Harlem and them flutters. The waves break against the shore, churning themselves up into white foam, and ahead the gulls cry, the birds. Perhaps I'm feeling sentimental, but it almost sounds like they're wishing us goodbye. Hey, Huniko. Cosmo appears at my side. She tugs on my unoccupied hand and looks at me, her eyes winsome in the summer sunlight. I pause and offer a smile. Hey, Cosmo. What's up? I was just wondering, do you want to take a selfie? I thought it might be nice to commemorate this holiday. We had such a good time together after all. I'd like it if I'd always remember this summer. Oh, that's a good idea. Hazel, who has pretty sharp ears, must have overheard because she sides up to us. Grinning, she says, can you take a picture of me too? I want in. Are we taking photos? That sounds like a wonderful idea. I'd love to have a memento to remember this summer. But I could get it professionally printed and frame it so I can look upon it whenever I feel stressed. I had such a fun with you, my darling Huniko, but this holiday would not have been half so much fun the rest of my dear sisters. I do enjoy pampering you. For taking photos, I'll have to be in the frame too, preferably in the middle. Remember, if it weren't for me, this holiday wouldn't have happened. This is my private beach we're standing on, and it's my beach house you slept in. That's right, you're the real MVP of the holiday. Your kindness is most appreciated. You can be mean sometimes, but I know you're a nice person deep down. You're just awkward like me. That's why you're my best friend. No one gets me like you. Hey, don't give me that. We're not alike at all, you hear? I'm far prettier, smarter, lovelier, talenteder. I like the fact the man's in the background like, shit, I'm the one they want to bang, but I can barely be in the picture. Okay, get in, everybody. I'm going to take it. Whoa, hey, guys, you're pushing me out of the frame. Good, my clothes are getting all rambled. You just have to deal with it as best you can, Yui. There. Don't pat my head. I'm not a puppy. I like it when who for me pats my head. You might, but I don't. We're not all alike. Now, everybody, smile. Say cheese. Cosmo reaches out her tongue, poking out in connection, then taps the circular button on her touchscreen. The camera flashes as she takes one photo, then another and another. I smile all the while the scent of the salt in my nostrils hair ramped by the breeze. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, but I don't mind. I am with the 5 women I love more than anything, and I couldn't be happier. Stop patting my head, I'm just trying to calm you down, dear. There. Do you think I should flex my muscles? I think I look real cool. The wind is blowing my hair into my eyes. Please hurry with the silly photos, Cosmo. Just a few more. I want to get one with me cuddled up with Huniko. Hey, no fair. I want to cuddle with Huniko too. Okay, just get in the middle and just lay down. Oh, we have a comment, Doug. Hey, hope you're having a good night tonight. We're near the end of this. Miss E. I want to cuddle him too. You girls are always so childish. But I would not be all opposed to the idea myself. I do love lavishing my dear Huniko and affection, as do I. I love pampering my dear husband. Husband, since when did that happen? It's alright, Yui. Don't get mad. We're not actually married. They're just Hufume's pet name for me. Indeed, it is true. We're not married yet. That can soon be fixed. And I did discuss only a few days prior the possibility of me meeting his parents. He said they would be very fond of me. I cannot wait to meet my new father and mother-in-law. Whoa, you acted so sweet and unamusing, but you're pretty pushy, Hoofy. I didn't know you gotten so far. Maybe I need to ramp up our relationships too. Uh-oh. I won't lose to you. Huniko is my boyfriend. I want to meet his parents first. As if his parents would be happy to meet a weirdo like you. They'll be far more impressed with me. I have so many accomplishments to my name after all, and I'm incredibly wealthy. I already claimed the hearts of the Japan's public, and now going to claim the hearts of Huniko's parents too. I'll be the best daughter-in-law there ever was. I somehow doubt that. Your shrill voice would in all likelihood send them running for the hills. What was that? Oh my, did you not hear what I said? Perhaps you need to get your ears cleaned out. You ain't as young as you once were, after all. Old age spares nobody, not even top idols. You bitch, I'll get you for that. Now, let's all try to calm down. Whoa, you's really going after Maria, and you're still taking photos, Cosmo? Of course I am. These are candid shots that all sell very well on the black market. I'm sure Yui's fans would be very interested in this. Hey, cut that out. I don't want you leaking these pictures to the public. I have an image to maintain. Perhaps you should have thought of that before you decided to attack me like a wild cat. My entourage are one another's throats, as per usual, but I don't mind. In fact, I'm beginning to enjoy it. There's never a dull moment when they're around. Ha ha ha. I start to laugh. I can't help myself. I laugh with abandon until tears begin to pucker the corners of my eyes. I have no idea what the future holds, but one thing is for certain. Though they sometimes annoy me, I love these scumbag, aka sex demons, dearly. They turned my dull life upside down for good, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And that is the 4th game, I think. Maybe. Yep. So that is this game, guys. I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you did stop by and watch the whole thing, I thank you. I look for my phone because I'm a complete and utter moron. So I would like to thank Vibrator, Mr. Jones, because he did stop in a bit. Rosie and Dark Knight. And of course I would like to thank Marino as well. But that's going to be it for this. Now Saturday, What we're going to be doing is, since the Ghost of Tsushima update's done, we'll be getting back to Ghost of Tsushima. Sunday, I'm taking off. Monday night, I will be back, and we'll probably get back to Kingdom Hearts or Kingdom Hearts 2 or Devil May Cry 4. But I hope to see you guys for Ghost of Tsushima, and I hope everyone has a good weekend and a great rest and a good September coming up. Good night, everybody.